I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, very good morning, you beautiful souls. Perhaps you're feeling a little unmotivated, a little down in the dumps, like you got no energy, you ain't got no reason to drive you forward. Shake it off, because it's a motivational Monday here on Expresso. Very good morning, welcome to it. My name is Graham Richards. Such a pleasure, as always. I say this every morning, but it really is such a pleasure to be connecting with you on the other side of this little connection that we have. And I want you to stick around for the next 3 hours, because we're going to have a lot of fun and we're going to get you pumped for the week ahead. And I'm talking to myself as much as you. We're going to fill you up with positive energy, and I love that on a Monday. We are going to be joined by life coach and media personality and an incredibly successful motivational speaker, Lucia Dramat, who wrote a book called 21 Days in Full Bloom. Doesn't that sound amazing? And she is going to help us achieve a more positive outlook on life. We need that this time of the year. Then author of and content creator of Global Money Academy, Justin Harrison, a wunderkind in the money world, joins us to share his advice on having a better relationship with our money. I think after January, a lot of us feel like we broke up with our money. It's okay. We can get back together. You know, follow the spirit of Valentine's Day. Around this time of the year, I know a lot of us are feeling that pressure, so we want to bring you back on track. And of course, we're going to have a lot of fun in between. We're going to keep you entertained. We're going to be in the kitchen. We're going to be eating. And hopefully, we're still feeling a little bit loved up after Valentine's Day. Happy post-Valentine's Day, gang. How you doing?
Top of the morning to you, South Africa. My name is Jamie Lee Domberg, feeling all the love with Ralda Morning this morning.
Indeed. Good morning, you beautiful souls. Thank you for joining us on this eclectic Monday morning where we coast you through the day, of course. And I'm joined by a beautiful soul when chatting to you, Mzansi, about your Valentine's weekend. And what did you get up to this Valentine past? Yeah. Jamie, listen, you did some things.
I was just seeing all the love on social media. I was like, took a bit of self-love. I got to spend the day with my mom and Luke, and I think that was just so amazing for me. But I got to host a pretty cool event.
You looked like you just dropped out of heaven itself. My girl, you looked absolutely exquisite. I must just say so myself. And I'm seeing some of these DMs still that you woke up from this morning. So you want to just get...
Let's talk about you, because you took Valentine's Day to a whole other level this year.
You know, the family's grown now. We've got Harkin in the building, of course. So we took him to a beautiful spot in Stanford where we could just appreciate the beauty. And you know, nature boys love, of course. It's animals, it's the outdoors, and the special one. So we ticked all the boxes. It was a beautiful weekend.
I'm also so happy, South Africa. Did you just hear that? He actually said Valentine's Day. Now we can finally say it all together. Say it nice. It just
what
South Africa. Valentine's Day, because last week you couldn't even say Valentine's Day.
Ticked.
Valentine's Day.
Let us know, of course, Mzansi. Let us know on our social media channels. We want to see what you got up to. Send us a picture, of course, and we'll showcase your love throughout the day. But before we do, let's find out what's happening. First up in the news.
Thanks so much, guys. Let's start here in South Africa with our national news first. The national state of disaster has been extended up until the 15th of March, which means the lockdown restrictions are still applicable on adjusted level 3. So the latest statistics show a steady decline in cases after the second wave of the pandemic was fueled by a mutation of the virus. Yesterday, 1,744 new cases and 78 deaths were reported. SA is now heading towards 1.5 million confirmed cases, with a total of 47,899 deaths. The recovery rate standing at 93%. Staying in South Africa, the Cabinet on Saturday gave the go-ahead for the reopening of 20 land border posts, which have been closed since the 11th of January. Some new interventions will be implemented to prevent the chaos witnessed over the festive period. That included trucks being limited to a 700-meter queue. More staff have also been deployed and a ticket system adopted to limit the number of COVID-19 tests that can be done at the border posts themselves. In addition, the reopening plan includes a crackdown on fake COVID-19 test certificates. Then casting a wider gaze now on the international front, at least 3 people have died of Ebola in Guinea, with 5 others testing positive for the virus. They fell ill with diarrhea, vomiting and bleeding after attending a burial. Between 2013 and 2016, more than 11,000 people died in the West African Ebola epidemic. And that began in Guinea itself. In response to that epidemic, several several vaccines were developed which have since been used to fight outbreaks. The World Health Organization yesterday tweeted that it was ramping up response efforts given the potential resurgence of Ebola in Guinea. Then armoured vehicles have appeared on the streets of several cities in Myanmar amid signs that the military is preparing a crackdown on the opposition following the coup it carried out on the 1st of February. The internet was almost entirely shut down from late yesterday afternoon. In the state of Kachin, security forces fired shots at a protest gathering, the 9th day of anti-coup demonstrations across the country. The UN accused the military of declaring war on the people and said the generals were showing signs of desperation and would be held accountable. And now news of the cleanup by two passionate South Africans. Residents in the north of Johannesburg are said to be increasingly impressed by the cleanup efforts of Sean Williams and Lovemore Robson. In just 4 months, they have collected 143 tons of trash, or some 22,000 bags full of the streets of Fourways, Lone Hill, Sunninghill, Douglasdale, the Yixkay River, Kyalami, Olivedale and Sandton. So Williams met Robson when he was unemployed and living in a room. Now he has a driver's license and food to eat in their cleanup business. Live Life Always employs over 20 residents from Diepsloot, an informal settlement just outside of Joburg. The men wish to clean up the planet for their children to swim in rivers, lakes and the oceans without being surrounded by litter. We love that sentiment. They're convinced they are changing the mindset of people towards the huge problem of waste, plastic in particular, and litter. The initiative operates on donations, which they are urgently in need of. Please take that on board. Williams says he wishes to grow their initiative and adds, and we quote, so we can employ, educate and clean up. Well said. They have set up a crowdfunding page for the community to donate to keep their initiative going. Truly a good cause to consider donating to. In fact, go and take a look right now. As we do that, we move into our sporting headlines. Let's start with cricket. They've done it again. Pakistan recorded a 4-wicket win over South Africa to clinch the T20 series 2-1 at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore yesterday. On Saturday, the Proteas beat Pakistan by 6 wickets to level that series 1-1. The hosts proved too good for South Africa in that final match, despite an unbeaten 85 from just 45 deliveries from David Miller, finally coming good in the series. Then on to rugby news. Rugby World Cup winning Springbok captain Siya Kolisi will leave the Stormers and Western Province after 11 years. The 29-year-old ends his time at Western Province Rugby as the second most capped player in the Stormers franchise. Excuse me, Kolisi has been linked to a move to the Durban-based Sharks for some time now. SA Rugby on Friday announced the kickoff of the 2021 season with a number of preparation fixtures for the 8 provincial teams, which will now include the EP Elephants. And on to Sevens news. Unfortunately, not the best from the Springboks fold. The Springbok Sevens team will not participate in the Madrid Sevens tournament at the Campo UCM Central, scheduled to take place between the 19th and 21st and 26th to 28th of February. This comes after the national government of Spain extended their COVID-19 related travel restrictions on a number of countries, including South Africa. Blitzbach head coach Neil Powell understandably expressed his disappointment and said the team worked incredibly hard to get tournament ready over the past few weeks. On to local footballing news. SuperSport United have edged closer to defending Premier League champions Mamelodi Sundowns. That was after securing a 2-1 win over Cape Town City at the Lucas Moripe Stadium. SuperSport sit in second place on the log, 2 points behind Masandawana. Their third place is Swallows, and they were held to a goalless draw against Benny McCarthy's Amazulu FC at the Dobsonville Stadium. Amazulu back in action as the PSL continues this Wednesday. They'll be up against Chiefs. Then across the pond in the English Premier League this weekend, Manchester City thrashed Tottenham Hotspur 3-0 at the Etihad to extend their lead at the top of the standings to 7 points now. Their Manchester rivals Man United squandered the chance to edge closer to the log leaders after recording a 1-1 draw against West Bromwich Albion. In the reigning Premier League champions, their woes continued. Liverpool suffering a 3-1 loss to Leicester City, their 6th loss this season. On to tennis. 23-time Grand Slam winner American, of course, Serena Williams advanced to the Australian Open quarterfinals after seeing off Belarusian Aryna Sabalenka 6-4, 2-6, 6-4. Then third seed Naomi Osaka, she saved 2 match points to overcome Spanish tennis player Garbine Muguruza 4-6, 6-4, 7-5. And that's, of course, to advance to the last 8 as well. Then in the men's singles draw, world number 1 Novak Djokovic beat Milos Raonic in 4 sets, 7-6, 4-6, 6-1, 6-4 to book his spot in the quarters. Katuelo is going to be stepping into studio in just a moment moment to chat about all of our weekend sporting lineups. So stick around for that. Right now, it's a new week, so let's take a look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures in your neck of the woods.
Yes, G, it is a new week, which means a fresh week of seeing your sunrise photos at home. Now, this morning we kick off with this beautiful photo from Merlin Phillips from George, showing off the red hues in the sky. Now, George, you can expect some sun, then increasing clouds with winds gradually subsiding. A maximum of 21 degrees will be reached in your part of the country today. Another regular coming through this morning is Ntokozo Theo Makatini, who shared one of his sunrise photos showing off the clouds that scattered across the sky in his area. Now, Joburg, you can expect a maximum of 27 degrees with some scattered thunder showers today. Now, while we love showing off our local talent, we also have so many international viewers tuned into our YouTube channel as well as the Africa channel, which broadcasts in the USA too. Now, today we are highlighting Boise, Idaho. This capital city of Idaho has a semi-arid continental climate with 4 distinct seasons experienced throughout the year. Now, today you can expect a cloudy day with a rain or snow shower in spots. A maximum of only 5 degrees Celsius is forecast for you today. Again, we want to say thank you to all of our viewers that have taken the time to share your part of the world with us. We do encourage you to continue sharing your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. You may just see your picture featured during one of our weather segments, and we love to see it. Now, the South African Weather Service yesterday issued an orange level 5 warning for heavy rain yesterday afternoon over parts of KwaZulu-Natal that could cause flooding and lead to disruption. Thunderstorms were expected to spread to other parts of the province last night and today. Meanwhile, authorities in Limpopo have warned the public to avoid crossing rivers, streams and dams. Now, this after 10 people, including children, lost their lives since last month after being swept away during floods in the province. Limpopo was recently hit by floods due to a tropical cyclone over Mozambique. And in Northwest, the public is reminded that the N18 between Mahikeng and Vryburg has been closed again outside Mahikeng due to road damage. Motorists who have to travel in Northwest are advised to use the road via Maritsane after the road level of the northbound lane outside Mahikeng was washed away. On that note, let's have a first look at the temperatures for the day. If you do find yourself in Polokwane, expect thunder showers today with a low of 19 and a high of 27. Umbombela, rain is coming your way with a minimum temperature of 20, reaching a peak of 25. Pretoria, if you're out and about, expect a low of 17 and a high of 29. For you, Johannesburg, your temperatures are ranging from 14 to 27 today. Mahikeng, 19, 32. Klerksdorp, 15, 30. And then Kimberley, for you, it is a low of 12 and a high of 33. Thunder showers can also be expected for Bloemfontein today, ranging from 11 to 30 degrees. Richards Bay, 20, 28, with an 84% chance of rain today. Pietermaritzburg, rain is also coming your way with a low of 14 and a high of 25. And then South Africa's playground, Durban, ranges from 20 to 26 today. Mthatha, 11, 21. East London, 15, 22. Cradock, you do find yourself with a minimum of 7 and a maximum of 22. The friendly city of Port Elizabeth, PE, ranges from 16 to 24 today. George coming through with a low of 13 and a high of 21. Mother City, Cape Town, ranges from 17 to 21. Worcester, 9, 26. Lots of sunshine coming through for Sutherland with a low of 4 and a high of 22. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington with a low of 16 and a high of 31. Of course, wherever you find yourself on this beautiful Monday, make sure to make it a good one.
Oh, thank you so much, Jamie. And does Mzansi not look good indeed? And one thing I gotta add though, G, is this show does not go on without the beautiful people of Mzansi, right?
Completely.
Yeah,
Most
man.
important cog in our machine.
And I love the fact that we get to engage and talk to them and really see what's happening on the ground. Now, obviously, we really truly do value our viewers, and obviously contributing to the show is something that we absolutely love too. So this morning we're getting to know one of our regular Sunrise contributors, and his name is Ntokozo Makatini, and he's a little better known as Ntokozo, and it's so good to finally have you in the studio, man, and chat to you. How are you doing this morning?
Hi guys, thank you very much for having me in the show today, and I'm doing great, guys.
You're going to fit right in here. You seem pumped and motivated.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so funny, buddy. We've said your name on our show so many times.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. So it's so cool to be seeing your face. Tell us about where your journey with Expresso began. How long have you been watching the show, and why have you been tuning in? Clearly, looking at your connection to us, tuning in every morning.
So I've been watching Expresso morning show for over 4 years now. And the thing that makes me really watch the show is the energy you guys bring, you know, like you guys bring so much energy to us as people, you know, and like that's one of the reasons why I watch Expresso every day.
Right back at you, buddy.
Love that.
Right back at you.
So listen, man, you watching us. So I thought I need to do the same thing and watch you. So I went to go check you out on Instagram, and man, I gotta say, th3_earth is where you find Thokoza's pictures.
And pictures, man.
Dude, I've been blown away. I'm seeing stuff that I have not seen for ages. It's just invigorating and exciting, all the nature in me. And I gotta say, man, I found a favorite. This right here for me, you've got this artistic view of a sunrise, and brother, you blew my mind. This for me is a favorite. G and I have confirmed it. So my question to you is, what's your favorite for us on the show? A favorite moment on SABC3's Expresso show that you just absolutely love? Apart from us chatting to you now, I'm sure.
This better be your favorite moment, yeah.
You know, guys, okay, this is the best. But, you know, the best moment that I've ever had was when Griffith, like, he gave us he gave us feedback on how we can improve our pictures and how we can take better quality pictures and everything. So that really helped me to make a really better pictures and everything for myself.
Clearly you've taken that advice, because you've taken some beautiful photos. Your depth of field, the composition is absolutely beautiful. You've sent us some truly stunning sunrise pictures, and that's the reason why we keep using your photos. Are you a professional photographer? Is this just a hobby or a passion?
Guys, believe it or not, hey, I am not a professional photographer.
Wow.
And actually, I take all these pictures, I take them with my own phone. I don't have a camera.
What?
I'm telling you guys, I swear, I take all these pictures I've ever sent you guys, even that one you just see now. I've taken all of them with my own phone, you know?
Man,
that's crazy to me, man.
I'm out here like, no, you're lying. It cannot be. Was this a phone? Oh, dude, this is incredible. So, obviously, I'm seeing so many nature pics over here, Thokoza, and they look incredible. But is there anything else that you kind of enjoy taking pictures of? Clearly, you say you're not a professional, but I definitely believe you are. So I would love to see anything else you have done. Has there been anything else apart from nature that you've shot?
What inspires you? Yeah.
What really inspires me, you know, it's really nature. You know, I love nature. I love taking the things that capture my eye and, you know, that make me interesting. Like things that make me interesting, you know. So I like taking pictures of nature and just, you know, like landscapes. And one day my wish is to take pictures all around my country, my beautiful country, you know, and show our people what we really have as a country.
Oh, for sure. So I'm going to ask you right now to put your weatherman's hat on. Take a look up to your skies, buddy. Tell us, what sort of day are you expecting in your part of the world?
Today we're just having a partly cloudy day, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be a hot day. I'm looking for looking at the weather.
Buddy, I am so appreciative of your inputs every day, because we literally do feature your photos every day. So thank you so much for sharing your love of photography and your love of nature and our beautiful country with us. We are so proud to be your unofficial media partner, my man.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity that you guys have given me. You know, it's something that I was just taking pictures just for fun. You know, this is just a hobby for me, but I never thought one day it will take me to TV. You know? I really appreciate this, guys. Thank you very much.
You've got a talent, my friend, so keep nurturing that talent. But what a pleasure.
Indeed.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and Thokoza, I think it's only the beginning for you. I look forward to seeing more pictures from you on the show, of course. He's like a collab anchor for us. You know what I mean? Just sending in the love. But to the rest of you, Mzansi, of course, go check him out on his Instagram. The man's page is absolutely beautiful. And of course, the rest of you, keep sending in those pictures. Keep joining in with us, the crew. We want to be a part of your day, and we want to share your day too with us on Mzansi and the rest of the world, of course. So send them in so we can showcase your magic and your beauty, of course, too.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we delve into our weekend sport. The disappointment continued for the Proteas as Pakistan walked away winners of the three-match T20 series in Lahore yesterday. South Africa showing a lot of promise. They, of course, won that second T20 match in style on Saturday, but the hosts proved just too good, clinching the series 2-1 on the final day's play. And then in the world of rugby, England, Wales and France looking very impressive, recorded wins in the Six Nations tournament. Sports presenter Katoa Low is here to give us a weekend sports review. You're nodding your head like you knew exactly what was going to happen in all sport, but we did kind of see the writing on the wall. We were hoping that this would, focusing on the cricket, be a great opportunity to give some of the younger players, some of those that they're trying to kind of bleed into the bigger system, a chance to shine, and boy did they shine. Let's talk about the second T20. Let's talk about Dwayne Pretorius. Let's talk about 5 wickets for
but
17.
how's that for a roller coaster ride being a Proteas fan? The one day you win just 6 wickets, the next day you lose by 4 wickets. But we mentioned actually on Friday David Miller needing to step up, and he did yesterday. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get the win, but Dwayne Pretorius making history for the side. Definitely one that needs to be more prominent in the Proteas side going forward. So he was very impressive. And then even Tabriz Shamsi yesterday, 4 wickets as well, absolutely fantastic. And it was really Miller time yesterday. But unfortunately, it's just insane that you can have someone that scores 85 and picks up 4 wickets in a T20 and they lose. So
and they lose. Yeah, but this is a strong Pakistani team.
Yeah.
I think they've proven that there's continuity. They've done really well with their development structures.
No, Pakistan, the return to international cricket in their continent. I mean, fantastic from their side. 2 wins on the trot. A Test series win and a T20 series win.
And maybe on the emotional side, if we have to set our bias aside, maybe this is a good thing for Pakistani cricket because they've opened up and they've got their PSL kind of starting there as well. I know a lot of South Africans involved. Hershey's there, I think, on the coaching staff, which is great. We want to see the love of cricket in that part of the world because it's fostered some of the best players in the world. So we love it.
Pakistan are coming obviously in April here. So I mean,
I was going to ask you what's next because we were being quite we were jaded. Let's be honest about the Australian situation.
It still hurts. Yeah.
It really, you cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me real deep. What's next for the Proteas? Is there still a big question mark? How long do we have to wait, do you think?
Well, they're coming back to play in our domestic series, the CSA Challenge. That will happen now end of February, and then in March it'll be like I think a month and a half or whatever, and then we'll have Pakistan come here in April. So the first international cricket we'll see from the Proteas men's side is in April. Yeah, so we'll just have to Australia.
But we love it, and lots of promise shown, and I think from a South African perspective, don't be too all about the doom and gloom.
It's a young side, it was really, and Heinrich Klaasen also leading it for the first time on a national side. So I mean, it was a lot happening.
And we know the margins are fine in T20. The margins were pretty fine in some of our encounters in the Six Nations as we move across to Europe. Let's start though where a margin, it ended up being a lot bigger than it should have because Italy weren't that bad.
But they always do this every year. They give me hope that they're going to shake things up in the Six Nations, but I mean, it was their 29th consecutive loss in the Six Nations on Saturday against England. They started really well, and I was saying the battle up front, they got Vanapola and Sinclair to help up front, but then Italy sort of smashed them up front at the start. So I mean, there's hope for Italy. It is a young side, but I mean, we always say that. I just hope that somewhere it clicks. But I mean,
is it going to happen in the Six Nations?
I don't know.
Not. 41-18, the final score there. Then we got a feel for Scotland. I think we were hoping that they were going to continue that momentum, and they played well. They were leading at half-time up against Wales.
Yeah.
A player sent off, a couple of cards not going your way, and a young star absolutely shining in the mix. Reece Zammit. Where does this kid come from?
He's gone viral on TikTok as well.
As one does at this
you
day and age.
I think it's 3 tries in the last 2 matches. So I mean, he's definitely one to watch as well. And I mean, that's the thing about these situations. There's an injury somewhere, and you get a star like that. So I mean, well done to him. 20 years old, and he's definitely made his name for Wales. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do the rest of the Six Nations. But I'm very unfortunate for Scotland. They were so close, but then again, it's the second time in 2 weeks that Wales have had this opposing side with 14 men on the. So they're facing England next. So England need to keep all 15 men on the field, otherwise.
You've got to use the advantages you get. The final score there, 24-25 in the favour of Wales, and then finally, France are kind of outside favourites for the tournament for me now.
If not the favourites.
Yeah, hard-fought victory over Ireland, and it's often those battles of attrition that you prove your championship winning credentials. If you can do that, if you can do it in the hard yards, then it's going to come easy. We saw them play very free-flowing rugby against Italy.
Yeah, previous week, yeah.
And then they were put to the test against a tough. Let's be honest, that Ireland team is good, and they came through.
Yeah, and the thing is that if France won, they can prove that they can win ugly. As you said, that's how you get to winning a Six Nations or an international match, and they are tough. So DuPont is just my absolute favourite at the moment. So I can't wait to see what they do as well, going further on into the competition. But without a doubt, in my opinion, the favourites to win Six Nations at the moment. Looking at England, Italy gave them a go. England have only won one match so far. So I mean, we're not going to find it horrible if France win.
Yeah, man, and vive le bleu, man. We love the kind of rugby that they've always played, and we want to see more of that. Do we like English football? Prepare. No, we do not this weekend, but we will do our best to get through all of our weekend sporting results. A couple of shocks, a couple of big wins, and of course, most notably, a massive win for the log leaders. Now 7 points out in front. Stick around, we'll get into all of our weekend footballing action in a moment.
Thank you for that update, guys. Of course, it is #Motivation Monday. And when it comes to fitness, working out is really a form of, escapism for me. In that moment, I really just want to feel free and comfortable. And I think we spoke about this last year as well. Something that really keeps me motivated to work out is being dressed to work out. It's funny. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I think it's so true, and I see it with my clients, and I see it with anybody starting their fitness journey, and it does make sense. It's look good, feel good. It's that same personality trait that when I look the part, I'm going to be able to act the part better as well. So we have this mental perception that if we feel good in what we're wearing, we're going to be able to reach that PB a little bit closer. I don't know if you felt that in your gym, but if I'm wearing like a big baggy t-shirt, I'm just like hiding away, I'm not really feeling confident. Looks and what you wear gives you that confidence, and it's that confidence that allows you to power through and break those PBs. So I want to know, you've got an epic array here, and I see you getting quite excited this morning. You're like, chick, I got your way. So what's happening here?
So Wiz has come through with this beautiful athleisure range. It is just earth-friendly cotton. I think it's so breathable, it's comfortable, it's a built-in stretch, and I think that is also something that's very important for me. It's having that flexibility of working out, but also knowing that you're free with it. You can do a squat in it. It's something that I've learned is so important, is having a squat-proof kind of tights, or just something that is breathable. So I'm going to show you some of the amazing sets that we have here today. This beautiful black set. Again, beautiful. You can just, the tights.
Is that somewhat of like a three-quarter?
A three-quarter, yeah. So for me, it will probably touch my ankles, but that's fine because I'm very short. And then just playing around with the matching sets.
I think those are so cool. And I see this like trending at the moment where you got the matching sets, but then you can take the bottom and mix it up with the top or vice versa. So one outfit, but yet you got like what? 5 looks maybe?
Nature boy, you're speaking my language this morning.
I see you.
And then these free flow tops as well. Like you said, you just want to be free in them and just be comfortable. And I like these printed tops because you can just throw them over a top like this as well. Because if you are quite busty like myself, I like to have something over this. So this. But
also, don't you find that when you start in the gym and it's maybe we're kind of veering it closer to winter, you want to start warming up in your workout. So the fact that you have all these layers on, you can be like, all right, warm up's done. Take my first t-shirt off, and then you're getting in the zone, and you can take the next one off, and now I'm in the zone. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. No, I'm joking. I definitely know what you mean. But today I get to choose an outfit for our workouts. I know you have an epic workout plan for me, so I think that I'm gonna go with the basics. I had this one on before. I'm really loving the teal color, but I'm going to keep it basic today with a little black tights, and then I'm going to pop it with a free float t-shirt because Mama ate a lot this weekend and I'm just trying to hide everything. No, I'm joking. So I think this is something I'm going to go. I'm going to free my mind. I'm going to free all the weekend things that I did, I'm going to free it with a workout. So you think I'm ready?
I think you're ready. I think the fact also that Nature Boy loves this too. It's sustainably sourced cotton, which is just ticking all the boxes. So the next job that I have is to try get some sweat into this for our power session later. You ready? Let's see how she looks in this one, Mzansi. Stick around. We're going to be shaking and baking straight after this.
But listen, of course, you can master your movement too in this active wear designed for all workouts. It's just what is needed to crush your fitness goals this year, 2021. We are finishing it. And of course, you can shop this active wear and athleisure at Woolworths, in-store, online, or on the Woolworths app.
salt and pepper to a baking dish.
Because of this recipe, the grocery stores in Finland ran out of feta cheese.
Here's how to make it. Add tomatoes, olive oil, salt and pepper to a baking dish. Then add a block of feta cheese right in the middle. Bake at 400 for 35 minutes. When it comes out, add some fresh garlic. Here's how to make
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still locked in. Of course, it's your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Power Monday. And what's better than having a Power Monday? That's getting a power workout in, of course. And Jamie Lee Domberg has just changed into an epic Woolies wear. So I'm going to call her in. Where are you, Jamie Lee Domberg? I need my swole mate out here. She's coming through.
That's how we Monday, everybody.
I got to say, well done on the choice. Looking good. Looking like I can definitely try and put some sweat on this, but let's see.
Okay, let's
first
do it.
up.
Let's get
So, Jamie, we're doing something that's so synonymous with Monday. It's a power workout. It's breaking through barriers. It's breaking those boundaries, and it's obviously getting that momentum to set off the week. So we're going to start off strong with this one, and I've got some kettlebells here. They're a lot lighter than what I know you can do, but I thought for demonstration purposes, it's rather better to show quality over quantity. So Mzansi, you guys at home, of course, you can use any sort of weight that you do have at home. You can use a water bottle, you can use a dumbbell even. It doesn't matter as long as there's weight in it, and obviously the heavier the better too. That's going to give you that amplification of this power workout that we are about to throw down. So it's really simple. It's 3 compound movements, but every movement that we are exercising and performing, it's all about the power. It's all about that explosive speed, and it's all about the intention. So the intention with everything that we're doing here is to intend and to use that weight and to throw it up with vigor. So if I want to move the weight forward, I move it forward. All right,
Okay.
you got it.
Okay, you're hurting with his voice. You move it forward. Move it forward.
Right, Mzansi, you guys can join us at home too. So what we're going to be doing is starting off with something which is the best move in my opinion when it comes to power. It's called a power clean. So we're starting with the weight at the bottom. What we do is not use our arms and our elbow to lift the weight up, but what we're actually using is our core, our hips, and our glutes, and we're driving them forward, and that's where getting that power from this mid-region over here. So using our glutes to lift the weight up, the momentum literally brings that weight all the way through to my upper body, and I can rest it up on my shoulder over here, bring it straight down again, and then we can repeat on the other side. All right, so Mzansi, you at home, make sure you're using your core for this especially, of course, and of course, also throwing those glutes and those hips forward, all right? That's really, really important. So let's do this again, making sure as well, if I am sitting in profile, that you're maintaining a really good, nice, neutral spine. So lifting the weight up, you don't want to have that rounded position. You want to be nice and straight, gorilla style, all right? So let's try 4 in a row. Yep. What you want to do at home is go for at least 45 seconds of this movement and then 15 seconds off. So right-hand side, power. Bring it right up through. You're resting it on your shoulder, bring it straight back down, and then moving over to the other leg. Straight up in the air, boom, and then straight back down. I'm loving the vigor, I'm loving the thrust there. That's exactly what you want to replicate at home too. Moving over after your 45 seconds, you take that 15-second break, and then we're getting into something a little bit more technical. So you are very familiar with the kettlebell swing, of course. So what we're going to do here is a kettlebell swing, but we're going overhead. Overhead means that we're going to use our stabilizers, we're using our core, and we're going to try power through this movement into a power lunge. All right. So what it means is we go for a swing all the way to the top overhead. Now, here's where it gets tricky, Mzansi. You got to use your core, keep your stabilizers going, and we're going for a reverse lunge in this position. You ready for me?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I didn't get that memo. Okay.
All right. So let's try this out. I'm keeping my core nice and firm. The weight is right above my head. I'm going to slowly reverse, get my leg behind me. There we go, beautiful stuff. And then exploding back up to the ground. Yeah, that's it. Let's go down slowly once again. And here's where the explosive movement comes in. Power through. How are we feeling over there?
We're feeling it.
Let's keep going. So all the way down, and this is where it's important. Use those glutes to thrust those hips forward, driving up. Lovely stuff. Let's go down for one more. And driving up. Beautiful thrust. How are we feeling over there? Dumb
good. Do you know what the misconception is? That people actually think the weight is heavy, but the more you use the bottom part, your core, it actually gets lighter, so you don't actually feel the weight at all.
Exactly that. And the good cue for that is, if it's starting to feel too heavy, question yourself, because maybe you're using too much of your arm and not enough of your actual body.
Okay.
The minute you start using your body in these workouts, that's where efficiency occurs, and that's where we're really creating power output in our body. All right, so it's not just about my shoulder lifting the weight up, but it's actually my entire body throwing that through. And this is exactly where we come to for our next movement. It's a kettlebell swing overhead into a single arm overhead turn, and then from here we're going into a windmill. So the windmill is going to provide mobility. And why are we doing mobility? Because you got your stretch on with your Woolies gear, of course. So this is where we're going to test it. So we're going for a kettlebell swing, right hand overhead. Nice and easy. How does that feel?
No, wait, I didn't get that.
Let's try that again. All right.
Yeah.
So using the glutes, bring it all the way overhead. How are you feeling over there?
We're good.
All right. So what you can do in this position here, and there's various options, right? Again, we are using our stabilizers, like I did mention. So from here, we can do a power move, which pushes straight up into the air as an example. I just want to get creative because there's so much we can do in this position.
And
I wanted to test that shoulder out.
I'm putting it down. I'm not trying to, no.
So you can go for a press up into the air if you want, but the main priority here is the windmill. And this is standing tall, keeping that weight in the air and dropping your leg or your hand all the way down to the ground. Keep your hand and eyes on that kettlebell all the way up, and then switching your swing. How does that feel?
I think we're going to practice that one a bit more. But if you wanted to modify that, if someone like me, because I'm really struggling with that one, how would you do that?
Swing it straight to your shoulder, from your shoulder position, in the same position that you are now.
Then bring it.
Then you go for your windmill, keeping that rotational force of the spine. That's going to work the thoracic movement, and at the same time, that's going to give you the mobility and still work the power chain that we're focusing on this morning.
Because at the end of the day, you want quality versus quantity. So I think that's perfect.
Exactly that, Mzansi. Of course, use those 45 seconds while it's quantity, like James says, over quality, it's quality over quantity, not quantity over quality. And use that 15-second break very, very vitally, because you want to put all the power that you can into this one. How are you feeling?
I think because I, again, looked good, you helped me choose this amazing form. It made the workout a little bit easier, but we still have a bit more practicing, and you did get a sweat into this one. So
Let's
we're
carry
good. There you go.
Whew.
So it's no secret that we are big fans of TikTok viral food sensations, the trends that have us glued to our phones, and the recent baked feta pasta makes its way into our zone. It's obvious why it's such a favorite. It's creamy, it's delicious, and it's pretty easy to make. Take a look.
Because of this recipe, the grocery stores in Finland ran out of feta cheese.
Here's how to make it. Add tomatoes, olive oil, salt, and pepper to a baking dish. Then add a block of feta cheese right in the middle. Bake at 400 for 35 minutes. When it comes out, add some fresh garlic, fresh basil, and give it all a good mix. Then add some of that cooked pasta right on top and give everything a good mix once again. And then it's time for the taste test.
So good.
Oh, yeah. I'm just hungry now. I'm really, really hungry. So it's become unbelievably popular. In fact, this dish has become so wildly popular among home cooks, chefs, and avid foodies. It wasn't always a TikTok trend, but now it's known as TikTok pasta. And the original dish is actually called unifetta pasta, which translates to oven in Finnish. And it is believed that Finnish blogger Jenny Heiren first shared the recipe in February of 2019, and it's since been responsible for feta shortages all around the world. Neil Anthony, you're a big fan of TikTok.
Exactly.
I see you doing TikTok dances all the time, man. So good to have you here, my
You
friend.
too.
Celebrity chef to the stars of the world and to us, luckily. And this is simple and easy. And there's a reason
Indeed.
why this is taken off, because it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I mean, it's super cool, super simple, super easy. It's a one-pan situation, almost like a two-pan, one-pan vibe. Like we said, turn your oven on,
Block of feta.
block of feta, olive
So
oil.
oil.
You pop them in.
Cool. All of them, eh?
Yeah, all of them, yeah.
Thank you.
So that goes straight in. Now again, you can change this up. Obviously, you can do
So you put some
your
chili in there.
favorites, some
Yeah,
chili.
chili.
We've got some
Oh,
salt
sure.
and pepper, obviously.
Lots of salt.
Lots of pepper.
And you really are chucking, eh?
Oh, yeah,
You're
no,
not
you
even
gotta-
wasting time in a
Nah,
salt
nah,
bay
you
or
gotta-
nothing. You are just
You got
chucking.
it straight in there. Boom, boom, boom. Some more olive oil on top, obviously. And then also, very important, some of the pasta water.
Okay.
Yeah, so that goes in, just to stop it from, stop it from sticking and stop it from doing its thing. So that, like you said in the video there, I mean, that goes into your oven for like half an hour, enough time to just sort of perfectly cook your pasta.
And roast those
So
tomatoes.
bang,
too.
bang, bang, that
Cool.
goes there. Obviously,
Look at that.
so some cooked pasta goes in, boom, boom, boom. And then yet again, I mean, you can mix it around as much as you like. Obviously, you can add anything you like in there. You know, chicken, bacon, you can sort of,
Yeah.
anything
zhuzh
you
it up
like,
if
boom,
you
boom,
want to,
boom.
Yeah.
And of course, a nice thing as well, some more cheese on top. Now, you could actually even put this back in and get like a little gratinate on it.
Ooh.
Put a nice bit of parmesan on top of that. And then, you know what I mean? You can sort of, yet again, sort of some thyme leaves on there would be nice.
Ooh.
Some oregano.
Fresh
I wouldn't bake these. I'd always keep these nice and fresh on top. And then another little drizzle like that.
And there we
then
go. We've done our
boom,
part
boom.
to aid the shortage of
Exactly.
feta throughout the world. And literally, like, there's been a feta shortage in places like you were saying in LA.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's like the TikTok capital of the world, so that makes sense.
Good time to buy shares in a feta cheese company.
Maybe we are seeing that you've just hit the nail on the head. Maybe
There you
this
go.
is all just one
Bang.
amazing marketing strategy. I'm going to use your wooden spoon here. if
Go
you
for
don't
it, mate.
mind,
Get
and
involved.
have a taste
Yeah.
because I've got to see if the craze, and I'm going to get some of this
Yeah,
baked
get some of the
feta.
feta in there as well.
'Cause-
Like I said, you know, you can always mix it up with other vegetables, other things. But I mean, you know, the classic is obviously the tomato and the feta and the onion and the basil and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's good,
Yeah.
man. That's really good.
There's a reason why.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. The roasted tomatoes are the win for me, undoubtedly. And that balance with the feta and the roast, it's really nice. The tomato is sweetened, but there's still a little bit of acidity there.
Definitely. And again, you can also put a bit of filling on there. And it's also the great thing is you can have it hot, cold, warm, you know what I mean? So it's a very, very versatile dish.
That's lovely, man. I love the fact, yeah, you can... As
Shake and bake.
Yeah, shake and bake, literally, as a starting point. I mean, throw some chicken in there, throw
Exactly,
some
yeah.
bacon in there, maybe some anchovies.
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Well, please go and try this TikTok challenge. Well, it's not even a challenge.
even a challenge, no.
Not even a challenge because it's so easy to do. It has inspired us. It's got my mouth watering. It's delicious. It's got an Italian
That's the water
flair.
is a key. It keeps that sort of gluten, keeps it all together.
So remember that before you cook, a little bit of
pasta water,
a little
yeah.
bit of the pasta water in there. But beyond that, it really is just a chuck and mingum and
It is, yeah.
throw it in the oven
Slap
and
bang,
cook
shake and
it.
bake.
Absolutely beautiful, dude. TikTok superstar in the making. If you'd like to try out this Expresso version of the trendy bake, this baked feta pasta recipe, which is amazing, simply head over to expressoshow.com. But make sure you take a TikTok of you doing it so that we know that you've done it. I'm going to have another taste.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Sorry, I am still eating the pasta that we made before the break, but we are now continuing with our weekend sports. Hopefully that's given me the fortitude to get through something that's going to be quite difficult when we get to the English Premier League results. Why? Because Manchester City, of course, showed just how unbelievably good they are at the moment, even missing two of their best players. Manchester City beating Spurs 3-0 in the Premier League, and of course Liverpool being compounded to another loss. Their sixth loss, in fact, this season, but Man City 7 points out in front. Katualo now joins us to chat about football. Before we get to the English Premier League, let's talk about the PSL. Some exciting results, some surprises maybe, but some hard-fought victories. Let's start with the battle at the bottom, because we are talking about Chukuma. TTM, you got to say that when you're winning, when your back is against the wall, this is a major victory, all things being considered, for a team that's just made it up to the PSL, because it's a massive step up.
Yeah, it's a massive, massive step up, and I mean, they're still in the mix. Or, well, then moving out of the mix at the bottom, rather.
They're not out of the mix yet.
Out of they're getting there. Each win counts, and as we said, every game is super important, especially during the times we live in. So if you get to play, and TTM managed to do it against United. Maritzburg United. I know there are a lot of United teams all across the world, but Maritzburg United over the weekend, so well done to them.
Maritzburg United only 9 points from the season thus far, just not good enough. I'll talk about those surprises when we look at the bigger picture. Golden Arrows. Okay, the first beating Stellenbosch. Okay, that's a great result. Beating 3-1, that's an even better result. Am I shocked by that? Not necessarily. The fact that they're sitting in fourth on the log?
Yeah.
That does shock me.
No, it's like anything can happen. The rule book's been thrown out of the door this season. At the top we have Classic Mamelodi Sundowns, but then we've got Morocco Swallows and SuperSport United there. I mean, SuperSport United, if they were to win this, it will only be their fourth title ever. So, I mean, compared to the mighty Mamelodi Sundowns, I mean, it would be a shake-up of note.
And they did themselves a favour this weekend. SuperSport United up against Cape Town City 2-1. That was a game they needed to win. Just from a sense of keeping that momentum going, that title charge momentum, and they're looking good.
They're looking very, very good. And I also read something about I think Abuzo and Grobler being the unlikely winning combo of the season. So, and they're playing for SuperSport United. So hopefully they can continue this momentum and maybe close that gap even more with at the top. So we'll see what happens.
They've found a great click there. Bloem Celtic 1-1 against Chip United, and then Amazulu and Swallows sadly drawing 0-0. We wanted more, but I'm sure Benny relishing the opportunity to come up against Kaizer Chiefs on a Wednesday, and the master meets the student. That should be an absolute cracker. Let's move across to the English Premier League. I'm going to start not with Spurs losing to City. I'm going
to have to start at the start.
Yeah, start at the start. Let's get in there, actually. Manchester City just looks sublime. The way that they always seem to have an overlap out wide. That you've got your right back coming in playing centre forward when they have to. They seem to get all to City.
No, and Pep actually said in the post-match interview, he said that they haven't made mistakes this year yet.
Yeah.
So, and you can see it's reflecting in the results and them moving all the way to the top.
De Bruyne's not back yet.
No, Aguero's not back.
Aguero.
I mean, I think teams are a little bit shaking in their boots knowing that Aguero is actually on his way back and De Bruyne is recovering from his hamstring injury as well. So.
And they also kind of played around a bit at the back there, and just Diaz wasn't playing, and they still looked as good. Just absolutely amazing.
So at least it was a worthy opponent they lost to Spurs, eh?
Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you for that.
You're
one
welcome.
Small, tiny, minuscule consolation. Let's look at what was a bit of a shock to me, because I thought Liverpool would bounce back. We've spoken about their woes in a lack of continuity in positions. Probably their ninth, midfield pairing now at the back. Trying to find that
affecting Liverpool as well. Obviously, we know Jurgen Klopp lost his mom, and he couldn't even go to her funeral because of COVID. Decisions might not be going their way, and it's sad to see because they are the reigning champions. And I saw a lot of the players actually, sent out messages on saying that they're champions. They will never stop fighting. All of that, because I think they can feel it, and they can feel it from the fans as well.
So, understandably, man.
Yeah,
and
it's sad to see that.
Well, now it seems like we're all chasing a Champions League berth. West Bromwich 1-1 to Manchester United. I think they lost an opportunity. But Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, after everything that he's been through in his personal life, also a massive loss there. Hat-trick, gets the match ball, brilliant performance, 4-2 against Leeds. And Leeds are an exciting team.
Very
Great
exciting. I mean, I've watched all the documentaries surrounding Leeds leading up to them being in this year's, or the Premier League at the moment. It's just, they are an exciting team. I mean, it's their first season back, so we'll see what they do. But I mean, Arsenal were well done to Aubameyang. He deserved it all in all.
Yeah, man, great post-match interview with him as well. Great to see that the team and the players, supporters, everyone has been getting behind him. Massive thank you to our friend in sports, brilliant sports presenter, Katualo, for joining us this morning. You as well, let us know, are you a super fan? Maybe we'll invite you onto the couch.
Free as a breeze is the new Suzuki Vitara Brezza. Now, the dream of owning this freshest SUV is as real as the touch screen with reverse camera and automatic climate control that make you right at home in the sun or in the snow. Starting at 244,900, it's got looks to burn, practical options from cooled upper glove box to keyless entry with push start, LED projector headlamps with daytime running lights and cruise control. In your new Suzuki Vitara, it just gets Brezza.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, welcome back. It's Power Monday. You're still locked in at your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we are bringing you something special this morning. Now, last December, if you do remember correctly and you were paying attention, Hillsong Church Africa were the talk of the town with their Christmas spectacular movie, which hit big screens across the country. Now, this morning they are returning to the show for 3 amazing Gospel Monday performances, and we thought, why not catch up with the team from Hillsong Church Africa and reveal which songs won our hashtag Gospel Monday poll. Now, we are obviously joined by the 2 specialists, of course. It's beautiful souls. You guys are, in my opinion, a light when it comes to coming through to the show. You really just, without even saying anything, I can feel the energy. I can feel like something's going down. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, like, well, very well. Tired. I can't believe it's like 7 o'clock on a Monday morning? But it's good.
And looking fresh. Greg, Shelby,
Yeah.
so good to have you. Because you guys are really part of the family. We value as family. I mean, take it back 2 months ago, an amazing performance. I remember my friends all went to watch a show and I was like, we actually had front row seats because you were in the studio, just name dropping over there. How's things been since the movie?
Well, it's been amazing. It was so much fun to actually also let our family see it as well, and we get to be part of the action when our family sees it. And so it was really good to go to the cinemas with family because we've never been able to do that. And so yeah, it was just like God really that we were able to do it, to pull off such a random time that we were able to just create something beautiful for Mzansi and the world. And so yeah, it's been amazing.
I couldn't agree more, and I think everybody in Mzansi absolutely loved it, which is going to bring me to the next question is, is there more? When can we get more? I think that was too good to not repeat. And I think everybody's expecting, when's the next performance? When's the next conference? What can we expect
Also,
coming up?
how do you top it from there?
You guys set the bar, let me say that. So it's not going to be an easy feat.
Yeah, the bar is quite high. But yeah, like Shelby said, we really enjoyed, it's the first time we've done anything like that.
Yeah.
And so we have no idea what's next. If we're going to do that again for Christmas this year, it would be incredible. Like, we'll see what the future holds. But yeah, we're just doing church every week, church online.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing.
That's how we top it.
For the past few months, just gathering online on YouTube and having church together.
I was going to ask you about that because obviously the president announced that churches are now open. Are you guys still going the online route, or is the congregation open for members to come?
Yeah, so 100% online services every Sunday, and depends on what the governmental regulations are and things like that. We miss gathering together, but we just bring incredible teaching and worship every Sunday. We gather in groups before on Zoom, and some people are gathering in groups and small groups in their homes, but for the majority we're online.
I got to ask on that note, I mean, obviously not being in that live moment, the energy is obviously maybe not the same, but is it still delivering? Is the message and the divine word still coming across? Is it as effective as it was when it was live? Is it working?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Thursday night we had a creative team night and we did live worship on YouTube, and we did like a live word, and just the testimonies that we're getting of people just feeling the presence of God in their own homes and what God did on that night, even though it was on a YouTube link. So there's been so many testimonies of what God's been doing in people's lives, and the word is still impacting, worship is still impacting, and people are still finding Jesus, which is incredible. And because we're online, our reach has expanded so much, because now anyone from all over the world can tune into a service and find Jesus.
Voice has no boundaries.
Absolutely. And we are the church at the end of the day. We as humans are the church. Of course, it's Gospel Mondays. Which song do you think did the best in the poll? Because we gave it to Mzansi to choose. Before we
I kind of like this.
Which one do you think did?
What do you think?
I think What a Beautiful Name.
Yeah.
What a beautiful name. Well, let's check out those results. And we've got What a Beautiful Name with 51%. We obviously presented Kings of Kings, What a Beautiful Name, See the Light, and Who You Say I Am. But what is it about the song? I mean, obviously you mentioned that this was probably going to be number one. What do you think it is, Shelby, that makes it so special?
Yeah, I think it's because it's about Jesus. Like, the message is Jesus, and it even says Jesus in the name of the song. And I don't know why people like it. And I was wondering, why do I love this song? Because I love it every time I get to lead it. And it's such a mystery. Like, it is a mystery, but I love it. And it's about Jesus. Like, that's literally the reason why it's just so powerful.
Love it.
Shelby, Greg, so good to have you with us this morning. They are going to be staying with us for Gospel Monday, so you don't want to go anywhere. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Listen, so the poll is really in. Do you want them to perform anything else? Because they're going to be doing three. So
it wouldn't actually matter, because from what I heard last year, it doesn't matter. You could sing anything, and I know it's going to get that spirit going, and it's going to power us through the Monday. So I just hope your voices are ready, because the early morning is not always that easy. But from what I've heard, I'm so excited. So guys, again, thank you so much. We'll let you get ready so long while we prepare for the rest of the show. But cannot wait. Mzansi, stick around, because it's going to be a goodie.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's start here in South Africa. The Minister of Basic Education, Angie Motshekga, yesterday said it's all systems go for schools to reopen today. Motshekga emphasized that the health and safety of teachers and learners remain a top priority. She also said the demand for space in schools remains a challenge, but that good progress has been made in placing some 24,000 learners still awaiting places in schools. She repeated that the leakage of matric examination questions papers last year had not affected the integrity of the matric results, which are, of course, imminent. Then the national state of disaster has been extended up until the 15th of March, which means the lockdown restrictions are still applicable on adjusted level 3. The latest statistics show a steady decline in cases after the second wave of the pandemic was fueled by a mutation in the virus, as we know well. Yesterday, 1,744 new cases and 78 deaths were reported. South Africa is now heading towards 1.5 million confirmed cases, with a total of 47,899 deaths. And the recovery rate currently standing at 93%. On the international front, the United Arab Emirates Hope mission has returned its first picture of Mars. The spacecraft entered into orbit around the red planet, making the UAE the first Arab nation in history to have a scientific presence at Earth's near neighbor. The Chinese Tianwen-1 orbiter has also arrived at Mars. It carries a rover which will be dispatched to the surface in May or June. And this week, it's the turn of the Americans. Their Perseverance rover reaches Mars on Thursday and will immediately land in a near equatorial crater named Jezero. Then at least 3 people have died of Ebola in Guinea, with 5 others testing positive for the virus. They fell ill with diarrhea, vomiting and bleeding after attending a burial. Between 2013 and 2016, more than 11,000 people died in the West Africa Ebola epidemic, which began in Guinea. In response to that epidemic, several vaccines were developed, which have since been used to fight outbreaks. The World Health Organization yesterday tweeted that it was ramping up response efforts given the potential resurgence of Ebola in the region. And now, crocodile hunter's son bags top photo award for bushfire image. A dramatic drone image of a devastating bushfire in Australia, taken by Robert, son of the late TV environmentalist Steve Irwin, known throughout the world as the Crocodile Hunter, has won a major international wildfire picture award. The photograph, a line of fire, which won the Wildlife Photographer of the Year People's Choice Award with 55,486 public votes, impressive, taken near the border of the Steve Irwin Wildlife Reserve in Cape York, Queensland, Australia, shows the split between a conservation area and the charred remains. 17-year-old Robert said to him the award was particularly special, not only as a profound personal honour, but also as a reminder of people's effect on the natural world and the responsibility to care for it. Some 25 images out of the 49,000 submissions to Wildlife Photographer of the Year were chosen by the Natural History Museum in London, which runs the competition. Among the highly commended finalists were Amy Vitale's The Last Goodbye, showing Ranger Joseph Wachira comforting Sudan, the last male northern white rhino left on the planet, moments before he succumbed at a wildlife conservancy in Kenya. On that emotional note is where we leave our news headlines. Let's get into the sport. We start with cricket, and they've done it again. Pakistan recorded a 4-wicket win over South Africa to clinch the T20 Series 2-1 at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore yesterday. So on Saturday, the Proteas beat Pakistan by 6 wickets to level the series 1 apiece. The hosts proved too good for South Africa in that final match yesterday, despite an unbeaten 85 from just 45 deliveries from David Miller. And on to rugby news locally. Rugby World Cup winning Springbok captain Siya Kolisi will leave the Stormers and Western Province after 11 years of service. The 29-year-old ends his time at Western Province Rugby as the second most capped Stormers player in history. Kolisi has, of course, been linked to a move to the Durban-based Sharks franchise. South African Rugby on Friday announced the kickoff of the 2021 season with a number of preparation fixtures for the 8 provincial teams, which will now also include the EP Elephants. Then on to Sevens news, and not the best for the Blitzboks camp. The Springbok Sevens team will not participate in the Madrid Sevens tournaments at the Campo UCM Central, scheduled to take place between the 19th and 21st and then the 26th and 28th of February. This comes after the national government of Spain have now extended their COVID-19 related travel restrictions on a number of countries, including South Africa. Blitzboks head coach Neil Powell expressed his disappointment, understandably, and said the team had worked incredibly hard to get tournament ready over the past few weeks. Then on to local football now. SuperSport United edging closer to defending Premier Soccer League champions Mamelodi Sundowns after securing a 2-1 win over Cape Town City. That was at the Lucas Moripe Stadium. SuperSport now sit in second place on the log, 2 points behind Masandawana. Third place Swallows FC. They were held to a goalless draw against Benny McCarthy's Amazulu FC at Dobsonville Stadium yesterday. And Amazulu will be back in action as the PSL action continues on Wednesday. So Amazulu take on Kaizer Chiefs. And then in the English Premier League this weekend, Manchester City looking unstoppable at this point. They thrashed Tottenham Hotspur 3-0 at the Etihad Stadium to extend their lead at the top of the standings to 7 points now. Their Manchester rivals, Manchester United, they squandered the chance to edge closer to the league leaders, recording a nervous 1-1 draw against West Bromwich Albion. Then reigning Premier Soccer League champions Liverpool, they suffered a 3-1 loss to Leicester City. That's now their 6th loss this season. And on to tennis, 23-time Grand Slam Slam winner, American Serena Williams, has advanced to the Australian Open quarterfinals. That was after seeing off Belarusian Aryna Sabalenka 6-4, 2-6, 6-4. Third seed Naomi Osaka, she saved 2 match points to overcome Spanish tennis player Garbine Muguruza 4-6, 6-4, 7-5 to reach the last 8 as well. Then in the men's singles draw, world number 1 Novak Djokovic, he beat Milos Raonic in 4 sets, 7-6, 4-6, 6-1, 6-4 to book his spot in the quarters as well. That's where we leave our sport for this hour. Let's take another look at the weather.
Thank you so much, G. We kick off your 7 a.m. weather update by featuring some of our viewers' stunning sunrise images this morning. Now, Joan Cameron shared this lovely view showing off the ocean waves crashing against the shore in Britannia Bay. A mostly sunny day is forecast with a maximum temperature of 19 degrees, which will be experienced today in your part of the country. Next, we're heading on over to Durban, where Mandisi Niyawose shared this beautiful view overlooking the ocean. Durban, you can expect rainy conditions today with a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. Again, thank you to those of you that have shared your sunrise photos with us. Please continue sharing and interacting with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We love to see how you start your morning. Now, while we do enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA. Now, this morning we are featuring the capital city of Algeria, Algiers. Now, Algiers is located on the Mediterranean Sea. As a result of the proximity to this specific ocean, Algiers doesn't usually experience extreme temperature ranges. Now, today, a partly sunny day is forecast with a mild 14 degrees Celsius as the maximum. Interesting environmental news is that the Atlantic Ocean is getting wider each year, pushing the Americas away from Africa and Europe. However, this is nothing new, as it's a process that started 200 million years ago. That's because the tectonic plates undergirding the Americas are separating from those beneath Europe and Africa. But precisely how and why that is happening has been a mystery to many scientists. A study released last week now finally answers that question. The research published in the journal Nature suggests the key to the Atlantic's expansion lies beneath a large underwater mountain range in the middle of that ocean. It says material from deep within the earth is bursting upward from an undersea ridge in the middle of the Atlantic. Now, Catherine Reichert, a geophysicist and co-author of the new study, said the rate of expansion could speed up, but rest assured it will probably remain the same during our lifetime. This, it seems, for time being, the Middle-earth world of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings will remain hidden from Earthlings for quite some time. Very interesting news. Now, bringing it back, here's a second look at the temperatures for the day. We kick it off with Polokwane with a low of 19, peaking to 27 degrees. If you do find yourself in Umbombela, expect rain coming your way with a low of 20 and a high of 25. If you're out and about in Pretoria, expect a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 29. Johannesburg, thunder showers coming your way on this Monday with a low of 14 and a high of 27. Mahikeng ranges from 19 to 32. Klerksdorp also ranges from 15 to 30. And then Kimberley coming through with a little bit of clouds with a low of 12 and a high of 33. Bloemfontein, thunder showers can also be seen in your part of the country with a low of 11 and a high of 30, and Richards Bay ranges from 20 to 28 and an 80% chance of rain today. Pietermaritzburg 14 25, Durban 20 26, Mthatha follows shortly with a minimum of 11 rather, and a maximum of 21. East London ranges from 15 to 22, and then Craddock coming through with a low of 7 and a high of 22. If you're out and about in Port Elizabeth, expect a low of 16 and a high of 24. George, expect a low of 13 and a high of 21. Mother City, Cape Town ranges from 17 to 21. Worcester 926. Sutherland, lots of sunshine coming your way on this Monday with a low of 4 and a high of 22. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington ranges from 16 to 31. Wherever you find yourself on this beautiful Monday, happy Monday to you.
Thank you so much, Jamie. And Mzansi's looking good indeed. Now we are going to have a lot of fun with the Hillsong Church Africa group, who are still in studio to kickstart our Monday morning, but they are here to perform something special. But before we do the performance, we decided let's play a bit of a game with them. Now this is called Guess the Lyric. You might have seen a version of this earlier in the show, but let me explain to you how this works. So I'm going to be giving a line from a song with missing words, and then Greg and Shelby, you guys are going to have to try figure out what the missing words are and then sing it in a song. All right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off by making it a little bit hard by just literally giving you the word. And if you need a clue, maybe can give you a bit of a tune. But you guys are the pros, so let's see how you do. You ready? Does it make
Such
sense?
professionals.
All right, so I'm going to replace all the missing words with something. Okay, something. All right, so your first question and your option is, do you ever feel something?
Oh, go for it.
How does it go?
So try fill in the words that, and this is a song.
Okay.
And it's quite a popular one as well.
Okay, I know it.
What is it? Tell me.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
Yes! You gotta sing it, you gotta sing it, you gotta...
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
Yeah! I love it! That's Katy Perry, of course. Nailed it, Shelby coming through. All right, it's one up. You guys are doing well. It's 1-0 against Expresso, because we're actually putting this challenge to you. So you're beating us. Next one, of course, something, the world, something, a
Heal the world, make it a better place.
Oh, this is Greg, are you playing with?
I can't even sing it. It's jumping in the way.
You gotta sing it, of course. That's
Heal
gonna
the
seal.
world, make it a better place.
Yes, that's the one. MJ himself, Michael Jackson. Greg, are you gonna play with?
Probably not.
I think I'm on the same boat as you. You and I can be like the backup singers for
Yeah. No, I think this is the Shelby show today.
I'll give you a chance.
All right, you got the third option up now. Ooh, this is a tricky one. Something. Can't hold it back anymore.
Yep, no.
Let it go, can't hold it back.
Oh, you telepathic! What's going on? Oh my gosh, you're nailing it again. Obviously
it,
from
Let it
Frozen. Let it go.
Can't hold it back.
I love it, guys. Greg, I'm
gonna get one.
This is yours. Actually,
Okay.
Shelby, you can't answer
Okay,
this next
okay,
one.
okay,
It's
okay.
too unfair. This
Okay,
game was made for you, all right? So next one is, I want to feel the something with something.
What? I have no idea.
And I'm going to do it like this. I want to feel the... No?
I literally
I want to feel the with... Oh,
want to feel the heat with somebody.
Yeah,
Okay,
come on,
here we
give me some
go.
soul.
Here we go.
I didn't hear you. Let's do it again. Come on.
I want to feel the heat with somebody.
Yes, man.
There we go. All
Greg
right.
is in the building, Mzansi. He is around.
1-3, guys. Let's do this.
This is not that hard, actually. I thought you guys would be struggling with this, but this is my final challenge to you, Shelby. Let's see if you can do this one. Something, nights, and the something are something. Looking out for a place to something.
Oh, can you sing the tune?
No, Greg,
Can we find a friend?
Any
Can you
questions?
find a friend?
What are the lifelines?
So we're going
we've got
way
here?
back here. The band has 4 letters in it, and it goes something.
Yo, Greg, you can have
Oh, I don't know the words of that at all. But I know it's Toto.
I'm
Oh no, Dancing Queen.
No. Maybe my tone is off. I apologize.
Is he?
Let me try again. Okay.
It's probably Friday nights. I don't know.
Yes. Keep going.
And
Friday nights and
the something or something, definitely. I didn't-
So it's ever. I gotta give you the point. You were like so close, and this is so hard. So it's Friday nights and the lights are low, and then looking out for a place to. But I gotta hear you sing it at least, Greg. Come on.
Friday night and the lights are low.
Yeah.
Looking out for a place to go. It's a Dancing Queen.
Is it Dancing Queen?
Abba.
Oh wow! Well done, dude. Okay, well you get an extra point from me. I'll
So
apologize.
we're tied
there.
then, 3-3.
But you actually
There
did it,
we go,
guys. You've been a brilliant sport, of course. Thank you so much. Congratulations again, Shelby. Greg and Mzansi, give them a round of applause. You
Thank
guys
you
have
so
been
much.
absolutely brilliant. This is, in fact, our hardest match the lyrics challenge that we've ever put out.
I agree.
You guys have nailed it, of course, and I can't wait
agree.
to hear your real, true lyrics come out later in the show, of course. We're going to be hearing the performance from the Hillsong group later on in the show. But before we do, we've got some Power Monday motivation coming up right after the break, and you do not want to miss this, so stick around.
Are you ready for a sizzling summer holiday in Mzansi? Your best holiday is yet to come when you book at any participating Marriott branded hotel. Redefine your holiday with a beach break, nature retreat, or a road trip adventure. With the Marriott Summer Holiday offer, you can enjoy 25% off standard hotel rates, including free breakfast if you're a Marriott Bonvoy member and 15% if you're a non-Bonvoy member. Book on Marriott.com for the best rates guaranteed.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. We're getting sound checks in here and it's sounding amazing. So good to have Hillsong in the house. They've proven that their musical knowledge is amazing. You don't want to hear them perform. It's going to be completely magical. But right now we are providing you with some inspiring words for our Motivational Monday, as we've dubbed it. And a great way to stimulate confidence within ourselves is by repeating positive daily affirmations. I'm going to repeat that. Repeating positive daily affirmations.
And these words we're taking from Michelle Obama are just a good way to get started on the journey of self-affirmation. Repeat after us. It says, I now tried a new hypothesis. It was possible that I was more in charge of my happiness than I was allowing myself to be.
Yes, man. Yes, woman.
I'm just...
Okay, no, but it is. It's a choice. I think we just think that we're like a result of our environment and the things that are happening to us, but you can actually choose the thoughts that are in your head, and you can choose to be more happy. And the more you repeat that to yourself, the more it becomes your reality. We know that Michelle Obama is an amazing human being, and there's a reason why she's been able to achieve what she does. But I think what I loved about the Obamas, they always looked so happy, despite all of the pressures on the presidency at the time, despite everything that her family was going through. She chose to be happy, and she has proven that you can do it. So you go and make that choice right now. Make that your positive affirmation throughout the day. Just say, I am happy.
Indeed, I am definitely happy, and I'm more happy to be chatting to this next guest that we are about to be speaking to. But if you'd like to, of course, take your life back and inject positivity into your thoughts, then all it takes is 15 minutes a day for 21 days to build that confidence. Now, the upcoming second edition of Lucia Dramat's book, 21 Days in Full Bloom, helps readers do just that by guiding you to find your fuel for life and rediscover your purpose and motivation. Now, the life coach, media personality, motivational speaker joins us this morning to share more about her career journey and passion to motivate others to their full potential. Lucia, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
It's so good, and I can just feel your energy, your vibrance. I know about the life you're living, which is absolutely exceptional, but this wasn't always the case.
Absolutely.
What is it that actually resulted in this life-changing persona that you've adopted and eventually now shared with the world?
Okay, well, a few years ago, I was always this girl that wanted big dreams and wanted to do big things, but then I started this business and it failed.
Okay.
And I felt so low. I felt like an absolute loser, and I knew I needed to do something big to just get confident and strong again. So I started filling myself with motivation. I read the books, I listened to podcasts, I watched different things, and once I felt, hey, I've got my confidence back, then I was bursting and I needed to do something more because I was strong and I was ready to help other people get strong as well.
So you're saying you literally made that decision to say, I want to include this in my life, right? And then from that, you felt the change, am I correct?
Absolutely.
What was that change exactly, and what made you decide that, firstly, I feel this, and secondly, this is something that I want to apply and maybe help others with? How did that come about?
I think when you fill yourself
life with good, there comes this point where it bursts out.
Yeah.
You can't stop it. So the more you put in the beginning, you're like, ugh, another podcast, ugh, another book. But eventually you're like, another book, yeah, another podcast. And you add it and you add it and you fill yourself. And when you get to that place, you're ready to enjoy your life. You've unlocked your mind to see that there's so much more to life. It's not limited to your circumstances, but it's limited by what you think you can have, what you want to put out there in life, and what you want to take out of life, because life is yours for the taking. But if you sit there waiting for life to fall into your lap, it's never going to happen.
I absolutely love that. You're speaking of someone that loves to take charge, of course, and what you've done, it seems to be someone that's practicing what they preach. So why then decide, look, this is something that clearly is working for me, I'm seeing the results, but now you've taken it a step further and you seem to have made this somewhat of a life mission to share this message with everybody else. Why is that important to you?
I've always wanted to help people, and I'm not a doctor or a lawyer or any of those practical industries, and so I thought, how can I help people and what is my purpose? And seeing people unlock that bigger picture for themselves, really step into their purpose, feel satisfied, feel motivated, and also get that twinkle in their eye, that is priceless. I love doing that, and that gives me so much value. That makes me feel that I'm making a difference, I'm making my mark, and I think everyone wants to feel that way. Even though it's in different industries, in different jobs, in different ways, you can feel like you've made a mark, and when you do, you start to feel satisfied, you lose the frustration, and you start to really enjoy your life because you know you're putting your best foot forward. So by doing that for other people, I know I'm putting my best foot forward.
Risha, you sound like someone that's speaking out of pure flow state, is what I like to call. There's no more friction. What you're doing is purely coming from passion, and yet it's serving such a greater purpose. So I absolutely love that. So kudos to you on that. But even more so, I'm hearing the fact that you're also creating niches and you're supporting women, which is something that's so important right now. You've got these workshops that you're doing. You're a businesswoman, you're an entrepreneur, so you're sharing these skills. So talk to me about this. What's happening in that front?
I think that we're in a world where women are independent. And with all the ladies becoming so independent, we still need support. We still need community. There are ladies that want to become independent and they're right there on the fence and they need the help. So whether you already stepped into your independent zone, living your best life, or whether you are on the fence and you're trying to get into the game, either way, that support, that community, that encouragement is necessary. Sometimes we need to pause and we need to say, where am I? Is this what I really want? Am I doing my best? Am I happy? And I provide that space for people to just pause, think, reevaluate, get clarity, and then focus on what is important and really get all the other stuff out of the way, because there's a lot happening all the time. So really putting those things down, focusing on where you want to go, and then go for it, because I think we need sisterhood and it's important.
I love what you're saying, and I love the fact that you're mentioning that we do need to slow down and take cognizance. But with that being said, how often would you suggest doing that? I mean, often we can do it at the beginning of the year and then action mode until 2022, and then we've lost everything by the wayside. So how often should we be checking in with ourselves?
How often do you eat?
Okay, I see you. Okay, cool. Look, so every single day.
Just, you know what, lifestyle and keeping your mind, maintaining your emotions, knowing where you're going, what you're doing. I think it's something you do daily. You eat daily, you look after your body daily. Why wouldn't you look after your mind and your emotions daily? Doesn't mean it has to be 5 hours every day. Sometimes it's just 15 minutes. Sometimes once a month, something bigger. Once a quarter, a whole day workshop. But you do at your pace where you know, I'm always feeling strong, I'm feeling focused, and I'm ready to do what I need to do.
I love that. You're relating it to food, and I think the fuel in that is just so pertinent. Now, talk to me about the second edition of your book, 21 Days in Full Bloom. What can we expect? What guidance do you have for people out there?
Okay, so the book is all about managing your mind and your emotions. Everything you do, your energy, your mindset, what you do, your businesses, the opportunities you take, what you don't take, all comes out of your mind. If you don't feel good, you're not going to do it, or you're not going to do that good of a job. So to manage your mind, to manage your emotions and your mindset, I put different things in the book, taking out the limiting beliefs, really identifying what they are. Sometimes we don't even know they're there. And then also putting in those positive thoughts, the thoughts that actually give us the lifestyle we want, putting in the affirmations, putting in gratitude. So it's all about managing those things, getting your boundaries in place so that you can live well.
Absolutely love it. Lucia, thank you so much. Of course, now you can take us back, and if you'd like to draw positivity into your life as well, of course, Mzansi, then you can too by entering and standing a chance to win a copy of Lucia's book. And all you got to do is simply answer the question, what positive affirmation do you repeat to yourself, on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages, and you could be our lucky winner. And don't forget, of course, the competition closes at midnight tonight, and your T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Lucia, thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to the rest of your magic.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. And of course, those positive affirmations have been coming in thick and fast. We thought we had touched on a couple of them. Dorianne Phillips saying, I love this one. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Man. Just keep at it.
Yes. We got one from Nusha Pillay, which really resonates with me as well. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4 verse 13.
Yeah, man. Got to have the faith.
Got to have the faith.
Have the faith. Then Josephine Pickstone, our regular. We love her. She says, always be happy and keep smiling.
Another regular coming through as well. Joan Cameron says, be kind to others, think positive, and believe in yourself. Say that over and over, and you're eventually going to believe in yourself.
And it really does work. Through all of the experts that we've been lucky enough to interview here on the show, we take this advice and we apply it to ourselves, and it really does. There's a reason why we're always in a positive mindset, because we choose to be so. So you continue to keep those positive affirmations coming. Let us know on all of our social media platforms, especially on Facebook this morning. How do you motivate yourself? Give us that positive affirmation, and we could be gifting you with an amazing book to help inspire you for the next phase of your life. Well, we're going to continue to inspire you with some incredible stories in just a moment. You want to stick around to see how we are bettering the lives of young children who so desperately deserve it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. There is a beautiful energy in our studio as Hillsong Church Africa prepared to give us a truly magical performance as part of our Gospel Monday experience today. But right now we're going to focus on an organization and a project that is quite literally changing lives. Our childhood, I think, is meant to be a time in which we are able to express ourselves through creativity and play. But the harsh reality in this country is that many children, in fact, are robbed of that experience through circumstances that are definitely out of their control. It is a gut-wrenchingly heartbreaking reality for too many children in this country. Well, fine artist Jill Trappler teamed up with Peter Marks, the executive director for foster children care organization known as Home from Home, to put together the Orange Art Project to address this issue specifically, as well as boost and host an exhibition of foster children's art to raise funds for their efforts. And they join us now this morning to share a bit more about what sounds like the most wonderful initiative that really seems to have gained momentum beyond what you possibly thought it would start out as. Maybe, Jill, I should start with you. What sparked the idea? Where did it all begin?
My sister works at Home from Home in education, and she and I were chatting at the beginning of lockdown about all the mothers that she works with, and she'd identified some of the children who are very interested in making art. So I said, okay, we can do this. We'll do it over WhatsApp. And so we all had to learn
As
how
one
to
does
take
at this
photographs.
time, yeah.
And the mothers initially were a little cautious, and the social workers, they weren't quite sure what was going on. But once they started making work and then sending me pictures and me talking about it, it just grew. And so I got 8 of my friends, colleagues, practicing artists to assist, and now it's in 12 different houses.
Wow.
And the artists are very committed to this. Obviously, artists need employment, and we needed money for materials and data, and the National Arts Council came up with that as a COVID intervention.
Well done, yeah.
For 6 months, and then the exhibition I'll tell you about later.
And I've got a 3-year-old boy, and I know how important the ability for him to express himself through that is for him in a very well-adjusted, normal setting. Now let's transplant that into a setting that isn't normal, but you're doing your utmost to create the most normal and positive experience for these children through Home from Home. Can you give us a bit of background into the work that you guys do and how that's been affected by these, as I'll say it again, unprecedented times? Surely things have changed dramatically during the COVID-19 time.
Thanks, Graham. It's been amazing sort of work to be involved in. Home from Home has 36 homes in the Western Cape region.
Wow. And
in those 36 homes, we place orphaned and abandoned children. And really what we're trying to do is create that second chance at family. And we've got these wonderful foster moms. That's where we start, employing foster moms who have that ability to create a second family for children who've lost that opportunity. And you know, with all those homes around there with up to 6 children in each home.
Wow.
Different ages, there's quite a lot of pressure. In normal times, we have the opportunity of having schools, extramural activities that are active. You can imagine being in a home like that for this lockdown time. So with Jill's intervention and initiative, this art project has been just a perfect timing and been wonderful for our families. Yeah.
It's an outlet, and I'm sure for the foster mothers as well, an unbelievably valuable tool to use. You know, I can't help but just apply my own situation, and I think how difficult with me having all the resources that I do, how difficult lockdown has been with having 2 kids. I can only imagine what it must be like for these mothers and for these children in that space. You would be able to speak with some authority in terms of what art has given you. Why do you think it's so important to allow these children that opportunity, that platform, to be able to express themselves and be creative like that?
I think it's a natural platform. I think we all want to use our hands and our eyes. And when you hone in on using your eyes and you start talking about visual literacy, it does influence so much of your life. And the interaction with each other, obviously on a social level and educational level. So having somebody at the end of a phone from the outside world talking into these situations, I think it was a very life-affirming experience for the mothers who did get drawn in. Some of their work was on exhibition as well.
Wow, brilliant.
The social workers took time and then started supporting it once they saw, as you say, and I was actually quite surprised in the joy and the energy that came through some of those paintings and the fluidity. There was such a natural ability, uninhibited, a need to be skills sharing, a need to inquire and be curious. So we offered a lot of different materials. We didn't have a theme-based or a curriculum. It allowed people to be. And
as a child should be.
Well, as we should all be, because as the mothers were taking responsibility, I think in the one house in Masiphumelele, the mother said to me, well, the children had said she didn't need to mix the paint for them anymore. She must do her pictures and they would mix. So there was this bit of role reversal, which in itself is an allowing of...
yeah, completely.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the fact that this has grown organically, as often the best kinds of initiatives do grow because you know you're getting it right and it's authentic. How have the children responded to this work, and the mothers for that matter?
Well, I think we alluded to it just now. I think the mothers were surprised at how much they got into it. I think they thought initially it was just going to be an initiative for the children, like a sporting activity or whatever. And the mothers really got into it. And I mean, some of the children have really expressed a lot of their desire to do art now, but I don't think that's the whole purpose of it. I think really, as Jill was saying, the opportunity for them to really express themselves. And I think the way that Jill and her team have done it is sort of less directive and less pressurized. And so we've got our kids really enjoying it, and that's how it's grown. I mean, some of the example I take is when we were at the exhibition on Friday, and some of the Muslim children came in, Ocean View children, and those mums taking pictures of their children's art and boasting about it is fantastic. We were trying to have a meeting, and we kept on getting tapped by the children saying, "Come over, you must see my piece, you must see my piece." And that kind of effect, really, you could witness the pride in it, and that's amazing. Yeah.
One can only imagine the mark that this is making, and it all sounds so normal for a child.
Exactly.
And that is beautiful in itself. So congratulations to both of you. I have a feeling this is just the start of something really special. So keep the strength and keep fighting the good fight even during these difficult times. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. We'll keep all of your details on our social media platforms and preach the word as much as we can. But thank you so much, and keep it up. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Some truly life-changing and impactful work being done by Jill and Peter. We thank them and all of the mothers as well so much for
And the
contributions.
children. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
children,
Thank you.
most importantly.
Oh, the artists too.
The artists, the mothers, the children, Jill, Peter, everybody, thank you so much for that incredible work. Now, moving over to our performances, where we were following the success of the songs King of Kings and What a Beautiful Name. Hillsong Workshop released the congregational anthem, Who You Say I Am, from their 26th live album, There Is More. Now, Who You Say I Am is heavily based on John chapter 8 in the Holy Bible and speaks of being a child of God. And even when we feel like everything is against us, we remain His children. Now, taking to the floor to perform Who You Say I Am, please, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Hillsong Church Africa.
Come on, in every living room this morning, let's sing. Who am I? Who am I that the highest King would welcome me? I was lost, but He brought me in. Oh, His love for me. Oh, His love for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last He has ransomed, His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, He died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. I am chosen, I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who You say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who You say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I
Wow, guys, I cannot thank you enough for that incredible performance. Of course, Mzansi, that was Hillsong Church Group from Africa, but they will be back for some more, so you do want to stick around for that. But, ooh, what can I say? One more round of applause, Mzansi. Woo! Hillsong, thank you very much.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Of course, you're still locked in. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and it's Motivational Monday. And we are back with Lucia Dramat, who we were chatting to earlier on. And she's the author of 21 Days in Full Bloom, which is a book that guides readers to find their fuel and rediscover their purpose and, of course, motivation in just 21 days. Now, Lucia is still here to take us through an exercise of daily affirmation that is geared towards building your confidence. And we're encouraging everybody at home, that's you, Mzansi, to follow along with us. Lucia, I'm so excited for this because
Me too.
It's often we speak about it, but the practicality is where we get to actually really do it, and I'm ready to get involved and get this Monday going. And I think Mzansi is keen to join us too. So where do we begin with this? What's the process?
Okay, we can stand.
Okay.
Let's stand.
So we're doing it. We're starting.
Yes, let's go for it.
Let's get into it.
The core idea about it is when you do an affirmation, you're not repeating something over and over and over and you don't believe it.
Okay.
That is just lying to yourself.
So you can't just say,
we're not lying to ourselves
cool,
today.
I am cool, I am cool. I have to believe it. Okay.
Exactly. So we're not lying to ourselves. We are actually going to believe it and then draw it out of ourselves.
All right.
Okay, so very quickly, you can close your eyes.
Okay.
Right, get comfortable, shake it loose, take a deep breath in, breath out. Okay, so I'm going to do an I am confident affirmation.
Keeping my eyes closed?
Eyes closed,
Okay.
and here we go. So first of all, see yourself confident.
All right.
Wherever
Lucia,
it is.
just before we get into this, I just need to remind Mzansi, I hope you are joining in with this because you're going to feel the power here. So let's go, Mzansi. Sorry,
Okay.
Lucia, let's continue.
So eyes closed, relaxed stance. See yourself confident. Just see that confident stance. Look at yourself, look at your mannerisms, look at your face expression, look at your body, look at your posture. And then change your posture to match the posture you see in your mind when you are confident. Maybe you'll open up your shoulders a little bit, chest forward, maybe your face will move up, you'll have a slight smile. I don't know what your confidence looks like, but start to put your body in that position. Right, then next, what is the feelings that you feel when you are confident? Do you feel good? Do you
energy,
feel relaxed?
yeah.
Do you feel high energy? Are you ready to take action? Really tap into those feelings right now and allow yourself to experience it. How do you feel?
I feel ready. I feel good.
You feel ready, you
feel the
good,
power,
you feel
yeah.
happy, you're good to go. Nobody's telling you nothing. So, okay, you're in that place, your body's confident, you've got those confident emotions, you see yourself confident, and just take 10 seconds to really pull it in and feel it. And now you say, I am confident.
I am confident.
And don't let it fall out. Say it like you're confident. So it's not, I am confident. No, you are giving it, I am confident. I
am confident. I'm confident.
Oh, there we go. The lion.
Yeah, I'm confident.
Okay, so basically that's what you do. You can open your eyes. You can do it a little bit longer. You can do it over 5 minutes and really feel it. But whatever you want to do, I'm confident, I'm smart, I'm a problem solver. Whatever you want to do, That is a little
Is it
practice.
normal to get like goosebumps? I'm like, got a bit of a chill after that. Like, I'm really...
Awesome. Now
It
you
was
are ready.
Like a bit of an endorphin rush? Is that
Yes,
normal?
and you can do this before you need to go into a meeting or you've got that big presentation and you have to stand up in front of everyone. You do this very quickly, it takes 2 minutes and you're good to go.
I love that. So those moments of like anxiety where you're really stressing about, am I ready? Can I do this? That's when we tap into this beautiful exercise of, I am confident. I absolutely love it, Lucia. Some practicality, and for you, Mzansi, I'm sure you felt that too. So you can draw positivity into your life with more life-changing techniques from Lucia Dramat's book, 21 Days in Full Bloom. And it's available for purchase from our website, luciadramat.com. And remember, you can also stand a chance to win a copy of Lucia's book in our competition giveaway. And all you got to do is simply answer the question, what positive affirmation do you repeat to yourself? And of course, let us know on our Expresso, Facebook, and Twitter pages. And of course, Instagram too, and you could be a lucky winner. And of course, the competition closes tonight at midnight, and your T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. One more time, say it with me, Mzansi. I am confident. Whoa!
Well, guess what? You already are a winner if you're repeating this positive affirmations. We're all about spreading the positivity with you on our social media this morning. And you, of course, came through with so many positive words that you repeat yourself daily. One of them being from Jenny October Njilo saying, respect and stay humble with some praying hands. We have one from Linda Naidu saying, nothing is impossible. Work hard, dream big. Absolutely, that is the mindset we need to go just to set the tone for our life and for every single day. We have one from Ke Zandile Moreku saying, never look down on yourself. Speak that positivity in your life every single day. And then last but definitely not least, we have someone called Johnny Graham saying, you can be anything, anywhere in the world, just be yourself. And that's all we need to hear for this beautiful Monday. That is the positivity we need to start this day on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. But you know what also gets us good for a good day is a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, we love our coffee, man. I'm confident about my coffee this morning. I have to laugh, Brie, because of course normally you're like so low energy and uninspired, you know. So to see like I see a perfect storm of you being given even more room, but that was beautiful, man. Absolutely.
I was fueled indeed.
Yeah, man, you got me getting goosebumps, man. Lucia's an incredible human being, so thanks so much to her as well. But we are going to focus now on some great coffee, and with ongoing travel restrictions in place, traveling's obviously become quite limited, which has resulted in us having to find new ways to explore new cities. And Expresso is making it possible to taste different cities and their cultures ultimately from around the world, including Tokyo, Stockholm, Vienna, Shanghai, our very own Cape Town, as robust as our flavor is, and of course the colorful Buenos Aires in your own home. And that's with their new World Explorations range of Lungo coffees.
And I'm absolutely loving all these flavor sensations. Now, last week we got a taste of Chinese coffee culture with the Shanghai Lungo, and this week we are hopping across the Atlantic all the way to Argentina to experience the sweet, sweet coffee culture of Buenos Aires, and Graham's favorite as well, I believe.
And it's quite a turn for me, because normally I like the really strong flavors, and this is a lighter intensity. This is a level 4 intensity, but there's just something, the sweetness of it, it's really beautifully well balanced. Arabic and a Robusta kind of blend going into this. As I said, it's a mild intensity, and what I like about this Lungo range is they've got something for everybody. So they've got the light, they've got the mid-range, and something a bit more intense, but this one's very lightly roasted, got a cereal, caramel, almost a sweet popcorn
I
note.
was just going to mention that. It's got a feeling of, you know what, I could kick back with a movie and even watch this one, you know?
I love
and it definitely does give me the feel. And the fact that obviously it's a Lungo, 110 mils, how can you go wrong? It's that extra flavor that you're getting in every sip.
So much so that I keep having to ask our connection on the Expresso connection. I'm like, please, I need more of the Buenos Aires, more Buenos Aires, more Buenos Aires. I've done my fair share of coffee tasting, but we want you guys to spoil your special someone. Valentine's might be behind us, but the love is still before us, and we've got a red hot prize to help you do that. It includes a red Cities and Milk machine, World Explorations 10-sleeve coffee bundle that'll keep you going, a barista apron so you can look the part, a biscuit bundle so you can get even more sweetness, and then of course a limited edition travel mug, and they are awesome, best travel mug I've ever used. It's all worth 6,399 Rand. So all you've got to do is reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook or our Twitter page. You'll see it's bolted there. You can tell us Who would you like to spoil this month of love and why? And remember to include that hashtag Nespresso Expresso, and the competition closes next week, Thursday. That's the 25th of Feb at midday. But enter now. You can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Here's to the year of love, man. Yeah, the year of love.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Of course, we're back with Hillsong Church Africa for another hashtag Gospel Monday performance as we enter into a brand new week. The song King of Kings by Hillsong Worship summarizes really just the story of God and the church and is firmly rooted in Scripture. The song really reminds us where we come from and also who we are in Jesus Christ, and sings everlasting praises to the Almighty, the King of all kings. Hillsong Church Africa, take it away.
Darkness, we were waiting without hope, without light, till from heaven you came running. There was mercy in your eyes to fulfill the law and prophets. To a virgin came the word, from a throne of endless glory to a cradle in the dirt. Would you sing, praise the Father, and praise the Father, praise the Son, we praise the Spirit, three in one, and God of glory, majesty, we praise forever to the King of Kings. Kingdom coming, and to reconcile the lost, to redeem the whole creation. You did not despise the cross, for even in your suffering you saw to the other side, knowing this was our salvation. Jesus, for our sake you died. Would you sing? We praise the Father, praise the Son, we praise the Spirit, three in one, and God of glory, majesty, we praise forever to the King of Kings. Amazulu alinda
here with us for Gospel Monday. He's the King of Kings, the name above all names, and they are still with us for another performance. What a beautiful name. Thank you. What a beautiful performance. And on that note, let's find out what's happening in and around the world.
Well, quite a momentous day yesterday here in South Africa as we start with our national news first. Yesterday, the Rand turned 60. It was first introduced as a currency in South Africa on the 14th of February back in 1961, the year the country became a republic. British-styled currency, the pounds, shillings and pence were replaced by rands and cents at an exchange rate of approximately 2 rand for every 1 pound. Currently, the rate is 20 rand to a pound. Statistics SA says since the Rand was launched, the inflation rate averaged 8% a year, which means a trolley of goods costing 100 rand in 1961 would now cost you a cool 9,700 rand. Then staying in the country, the Minister of Basic Education, Angie Motshekga, yesterday said it's all systems go for schools to reopen today. Motshekga emphasized that the health and safety of teachers and learners remain a top priority. She also said the demand for space in schools remains a challenge, but that good progress has been made in placing some 24,000 learners still awaiting placement in schools. She added that the leakage of matric examination question papers last year had not affected the integrity of the matric results, which of course are imminent. On the international front, scientists have warned that the COVID-19 pandemic is unlikely to end unless poorer countries can access vaccines. Writing in the medical journal The Lancet, they warn that unprecedented numbers of doses are needed, but poorer countries lack funds and richer countries have snapped up supplies. They wish to see production ramped up and doses priced affordably. The article says, as well as prolonging the crisis, a lack of availability of vaccines raises the risk of further mutations emerging. We quote, "None of us are safe until all of us are safe." Then the United Arab Emirates HOPE mission has returned its first picture of Mars. The spacecraft has entered into an orbit around the red planet, making the UAE the first Arab nation in history to have a scientific presence at Earth's near neighbor. The Chinese Tianwen-1 orbiter has also arrived at Mars. It carries a rover which will be dispatched to the surface in May or June this year. And this week, of course, it's the turn of the Americans, and their Perseverance rover reaches Mars on Thursday and will immediately land in a near equatorial crater named Jezero. And now news of the cleanup by 2 passionate South Africans. Residents in the north of Johannesburg are said to be increasingly impressed by the cleanup efforts of Sean Williams and Lovemore Robson. In just 4 months, they have collected 143 tons of trash, or some 22,000 bags full off the streets of Fourways, Lone Hill, Sunninghill, Douglasdale, the Yixkay River, Kyalami, Olivedale and Sandton. So Williams met Robson when he was unemployed and living in a room, and now he has a driver's license and food to eat. Their cleanup business, Live Life Always, employs over 20 residents from Diepsloot, which is an informal settlement just outside of Johannesburg. The men wish to clean up the planet for their children to swim in rivers, lakes and the oceans without being surrounded by litter. What a sentiment. And they're convinced that they are changing the mindset of people towards the huge problem of waste, plastic in particular, and litter. Their initiative operates on donations, which they are urgently in need of, understandably. Williams says he wishes to grow their initiative and adds, and we quote, "so we can employ, educate and clean up." They have set up a crowdfunding page for the community to donate to keep their initiative going. Truly a good cause to consider donating to. In fact, you can get right on that now as we round off our news headlines for the day and delve into the sport. Pakistan have done it again. They've recorded a 4-wicket win over South Africa to clinch the T20 series 2-1 at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore yesterday. On Saturday, the Proteas did beat Pakistan by 6 wickets to level the series 1 apiece, but the hosts proved too good for South Africa in that final match, despite an unbeaten 85 of just 45 deliveries from David Miller, finally coming good in the series. Then we move to rugby and rugby news breaking here in South Africa. Rugby World Cup winning Springbok captain Siya Kolisi officially is leaving the Stormers and Western Province after 11 years of service. The 29-year-old ends his time at Western Province Rugby as the second most capped Stormers player in the franchise's history. Kolisi has, of course, been linked to a move to the Durban-based Sharks. SA Rugby on Friday also announced the kickoff of the 2021 season with a number of preparation fixtures for the 8 provincial teams, which will now also include the EP Elephants. Then on to Rugby Sevens, and not the best news for the Blitzboks. The Springbok Sevens team team will not participate in the Madrid Sevens tournaments at Campo UCM Central, scheduled to take place between the 19th and 21st and then the 26th and 28th of February. This comes after the national government of Spain extended their COVID-19 related travel restrictions on a number of countries, including, unfortunately, South Africa. Blitzbok head coach Neil Power understandably expressed his disappointment, saying the team worked hard to get tournament ready over the past couple of weeks. And on to local football. SuperSport United edged ever closer to defending Premier Soccer League champions Mamelodi Sundowns after an impressive 2-1 win over Cape Town City FC at the Lucas Moripe Stadium over the weekend. SuperSport now sitting in second place on the log, just 2 points behind Masandawana. Third place Swallows FC. They were held to a goalless draw against AmaZulu FC at Dobsonville Stadium yesterday. And I'm sure Benny McCarthy looking forward to the Premier Soccer League action on Wednesday as AmaZulu take on Kaizer Chiefs. Then staying with the beautiful game in the English Premier League this weekend, they're looking like the out-and-out title favourites. Now, Manchester City, they thrashed Tottenham Hotspur 3-0 at the Etihad Stadium to extend their lead at the top of the standings to 7 points. Their Manchester rivals, Man United, they squandered the chance to edge closer to the log leaders, recording a nervous 1-1 draw against West Bromwich. And the reigning Premier League champions, Liverpool, they suffered a 3-1 loss to Leicester City. That's their 6th loss this season. And then on to tennis. 23-time Grand Slam winner, American Serena Williams. She's advanced to the Australian Open quarterfinals. That was after seeing off Belarusian Arina Sabalenka 6-4, 2-6, 6-4. Then third seed Naomi Osaka, she saved 2 match points to overcome Spanish tennis player Garbine Muguruza 4-6, 6-4, 7-5 to reach the last 8 as well. Then in the men's singles draw, world number 1 Novak Djokovic looks on track. He beat Milos Raonic in 4 sets, 7-6, 4-6, 6-1, 6-4 to book his spot in the quarters as well. That's a wrap up of your sport for this Monday morning. Let's take one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise vistas and get a take on the weather.
Certainly, Graham, we are wrapping up your morning weather report by recapping a few of the stunning sunrise images received from you, our lovely viewers. We started off the morning with Merlin Phillips all the way from George. Another one that came through was from Ntokozo Theo Makatini. We got to speak to briefly what an amazing person all the way from Joburg. We're also then heading over to the coast and we shared these beautiful photos from Joan Cameron, who is based in Britannia Bay. And then lastly, we had one from Mandise Nyawosaf all the way from Durban. Again, we want to say thank you to each and every one of you that has really taken out a moment to share your part of the country with us. Should you wish to be featured in one of our sunrise segments, all you have to do is head on over to the Expresso Facebook page. We would love to see it. And also, while we do enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA. Now, this morning we find out a little bit more about the capital of Illinois, Springfield. Now, Springfield has a humid continental climate and experiences hot, humid summers and cold, rather snowy winters. Springfield is located on the farthest reaches of Tornado Alley, and as such, thunderstorms are quite a common occurrence throughout the spring and summer. A winter storm warning has been issued, and it has been advised to limit time outdoors. Frigid snow with up to 6 centimeters is anticipated, so make sure to cover up. Now, bring it back to South Africa. The South African Weather Service yesterday issued an orange level 5 warning for heavy rain yesterday afternoon over parts of KwaZulu-Natal that could cause flooding and lead to disruption. Thunderstorms were expected to spread to other parts of the province last night and today. Meanwhile, authorities in Limpopo have warned the public to avoid crossing rivers, streams and also dams. Now, this after 10 people, including children, lost their lives since last month after being swept away during floods in the province. Limpopo was recently hit by floods due to a tropical cyclone over Mozambique, and in northwest, the public is reminded that the N18 between Mahikeng and Vryburg has been closed again outside Mahikeng due to road damage. Motorists who have to travel in northwest are advised to use the road via Maritsane after the road level of the northbound lane outside Mahikeng was washed away. Here's a final look at the temperatures for the day for this Monday. We kick it off with Polokwane. You can expect some thunder showers for your part of the country, starting with a low of 19 and a high of 27. Umbombela, rain coming your way with a low of 20 and a high of 25. Pretoria, thunder showers also coming your way with a minimum of 17 and a high of 29. Johannesburg, for you it is 14, 27. Mahikeng ranges from 19 to about 32, and Klerksdorp coming through with a minimum of 15, peaking at 30. Kimberley, 12, 33. Bloemfontein, 11, 30. And then if you do find yourself in Richards Bay, expect a 80% chance of rain with a low of 20 and a high of 28. Pietermaritzburg, 70% chance of rain for you as well, with a low of 14 and a high of 25. And then Durban ranges from 20 to 26. Mthatha, 11, 21. East London, 15, 22. And if you're out and about in Cradock, expect a low of 7 and a high of 22. If you find yourself in the friendly city of Port Elizabeth PE today, expect a temperature of 16 to 24. George, 13, 21. The mother city Cape Town can expect a low of 17 and a high of 21. Worcester with a low of 9 and a high of 26. Sutherland, 4, 22. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington with a low of 16, peaking at 31. That was a final look at your weather. Stay tuned here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I got to send a shout out to those of you connecting from all across the world. We love the fact that you watch online, that you're watching on the Africa channel as well. Atomic Engine saying greetings from Glendale and Arizona, the USA. Can't wait to stream us again in the morning. We love you, man. Then T1 Nation saying my name is Ashley Van Wyk and I'm from the West Coast in the Friedenberg, and I like to watch Expresso because it's entertaining and makes my morning so much better. You've just made our morning so much better. But I'll tell you what is making my morning better is the positive affirmations that have been coming through thick and fast. Man.
They have indeed, G, and I've got a couple coming through here. We've got one from Linda Naidu, who's saying she had an absolutely lovely day at home yesterday and just wanted to spend it with a little spoils. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the blue, but just a little spoils for her. And then Margaret Mason's also saying we are all given a parcel of goodies. Photos were taken on the day, and we were made sure that we weren't forgotten here in the home, which has been so good. So guys, thank you so much for coming through with these comments. We love chatting to you online, and we will keep chatting to you on the show. And G, I know we say it all the time, but I love the fact that we get to just engage with people. It's not just us talking, but we share the stage with Mzansi.
Complete, man. One of the best parts of our show. You help to inspire us every single morning, so thank you so much for doing that. I'm going to say it again. I am confident.
Yes, just that.
Only you can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh, welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. It has been a very enriching, and I stress the word rich, show today. We are talking about money now. They say that money doesn't make the world go round. It doesn't grow on trees. We wish it did. But we really do need to focus on it from time to time, especially after January, the longest month of the year. And that's exactly what we are focusing on right now. In fact, studies actually show that it's one's relationship in our life that we are least likely to look at and talk about, which could spell disaster in an actual relationship. In fact, we can feel so detached from money, we don't even think of ourselves as having a relationship with it at all. Well, today we are asking, what does money mean to you in your life? Clinical psychologist Asha Dulova is here to help us discuss this, to broach this difficult question, and hopefully answer some of your questions as well. Asha, I'm skirting around the topic here because it is difficult. Even talking to you about it feels like a difficult thing. Money is loaded. Why is it such a loaded thing when it comes to us and our relationship with it?
Yeah, so money, we attach meaning to money because it also relates to the way it makes us feel. So for some of us, money means safety. I feel safe. Some of us, it means a sense of freedom. I have choices. We attach it to success, our sense of achievement, our social signals, the admiration that we acquire, the value that we acquire, and of course happiness. We all think that money brings us happiness, and we strive to gain that sense of happiness.
Because it can bring us happiness. That's the reality. As much as we'd love to be all kind of, rise above it, it is a vital part of life, but it does become so emotionally connected. It almost feels like you've got to start examining yourself when you start examining your relationship with money. Why is money so intrinsically tied to our morality?
Sure. Okay, so money is very neutral. So it's actually our attitude and mindset to money that actually either makes us feel free in it or actually imprisoned. So that's where the dilemma comes in. It links into, if we look at the word money, if we take away the M and we take away the Y of the word money, we are left with the word one, because it is the single one aspect of our lives where we feel trapped in our sense of our ego. We are feeling it's our jealousy that comes in. It's judgments. It's envy. It's comparison. It's keeping up with the Jones. And when we are operating from that place of money, we can be sitting with emotions of fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, which then puts us in this. It's the me, mine attachment. If you take the M and the I, it's the my.
Especially after this year. I think everyone has been placed under, it doesn't matter who you are, you have faced some kind of money-related challenge over the span of this pandemic. Let's look at the flip side of that, a different message that is being put out there, and that also rings very much true, that money doesn't buy you happiness and that you can be incredibly happy without it. How do we achieve this? How do we manage to detach ourselves, knowing the reality of how important money is in our lives? Talk me through the hedonic treadmill theory.
Oh, this is a fantastic theory. So basically it looks at, regardless of our ups and downs, our good or bad experiences with money, our fortunes or misfortunes, we all tend to have a baseline level of happiness that we revert back to. Almost like a rubber band, we pull through experiences in our life, but the rubber band goes back to its original size. And, we have to keep on working at happiness in order to maintain that level, and therefore it's the treadmill effect.
We've got to stay on that treadmill and we've got to keep pushing.
Yes.
I want you to think about the role that money can play within a relationship as well, because it often becomes a tipping point, or where so many of the negative parts of a relationship can play out. Why is it such a difficult thing for us to broach within a relationship?
Yes, because there's definitely many layers to it. We are dealing with our own sense of values that we attach to our money, but also because of our own childhood histories, the way we've been brought up, how the families that we've been born into with regard to money. What are our beliefs about money? What is the stories that we know or understand about money? So we need to understand, we've got the one aspect of money where both the poor man and the rich man, they have one thing in common. They both are thinking about money. So we are actually very preoccupied with money on a daily basis. It's the one aspect in our life that we are constantly engaged with. So it will impact on every aspect of our life and every relationship, whether it's family or partner.
post-purchase dissonance. We're going to talk about those feelings that we can get after you've spent the money. Maybe you didn't spend it right. Were you spending it responsibly? It is a very complicated relationship that we share with money, but we wanted to simplify that. What does money mean to you in your life? Ashadullah is here today to help us discuss this topic, and we are taking your questions, so we'd love to hear from you. Please let us know on our Facebook page if you have any comments to add to the conversation or any questions. We'll get to those in a moment.
Such an important topic, and it's always so good chatting to Asha Dulab, a resident specialist when it comes to all things relationship, and we love taking advice from her. But now, for some more information and advice, we're chatting to our next guest, who is a man on a mission to create a more financially literate South Africa. You heard correctly, and this is after having seen the continued devastation caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, and this is why he started his YouTube channel called Global Money Academy, which in the space of only 8 months has amassed 4,000 plus subscribers, which is absolutely huge, and over 180,000 views. This morning we have Justin Harrison. He's building a strong community of South Africans who are slowly but surely realizing that potentially finance is a journey into our own habits and that we are not a victim of our own circumstances. So Justin's joining us this morning. He's a coach and he's here to share all his insights with us. Brother, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
I think we are all desperate to ask you so many questions, especially like, where's my money going?
Absolutely.
But how are you doing, man?
All good. Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. As we were saying before we went on, we've been helping people get their credit reports and credit profiles since 2008. And last year, when the pandemic hit, we really started to see the effects it was having on people.
Yeah.
Not just financially, but emotionally too, because money really is emotion.
Yeah.
And so we started to sit down, and my business partners and I started thinking about how can we contribute to the situation? How can we help people? How can we bring personal finance to people in a way that is approachable and understandable? Because traditionally personal finance is very sort of top-down suit and tie approach, and there's a generation that just does not respond to that.
Yeah.
So, we sat down, and the discussion that sort of came out of it was maybe a YouTube channel. We can reach people in their homes, we can break through all the negative news, all the negative stuff happening, and maybe just be a beacon of light. And that's really where it started. So July 18, we launched our first video, and the rest is really just history. I mean, we are incredibly privileged and blessed to have a platform like YouTube, to be able to reach people and just break through the barriers that are normally there.
Firstly, you look like money. You look like $1 million.
Thank you.
I love that. Take us through the inspiration behind why you actually wanted to create this and give this platform to South Africans.
Well, I think, I've traveled to 70 countries around the world, and I have never seen a nation as resilient as we are. I think, though, we have very bad financial habits, and there is a definite financial literacy issue coming all the way from school all the way through to adults. And so you go into your first job and you're just kind of expected to know what to do with your money. Nobody really sits down and says to you, this is what you need to do. Plus, I think something we have to be realistic about in this country, we come from a legacy of apartheid, and so there's an entire generation that's missed out on key financial information and education. And so with us dealing with consumers' data all the time, on our credit platform, My Credit Status, we get to see the effects. We get to see people making really bad choices. And as I was saying earlier, money really is emotion. So what we're doing is we're tackling this from a literacy perspective, but we're also tackling it from the emotional perspective. And we're really trying to help people understand that the choices they make today impact them in the future. So we've got to start with small, consistent actions. And so our inspiration really is for a better South Africa. We believe that people who are better at managing finances, who manage their money better, are in the end better citizens. Because at the end of the day, we all want better citizens in this country.
So, I love what you're saying, and I think you've got my buy-in, but for everybody else that does also maybe have this buy-in and wants to answer these questions, where do we start? Maybe I'm in the situation where I know I'm losing money, I don't know where it's going. Where does this journey begin? What's the first step that I should maybe take in the rest of Mzansi that wants to start managing their money properly?
So the very first thing I say to people, you have to have a budget. Budget is the most important thing. And I think the problems with budgets, especially the ladies, they treat it like a target. It isn't a target. A budget is really just limits on where you should be spending. And most people, when they draw up a budget, they tend to draw up a budget on what their expenses are. You need to draw up a budget on what you earn. You cannot spend what you don't have.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. That's how you get into trouble, right? So basically, start with a budget. That's the most important thing. And then really get the buy-in from your family, get the buy-in from your friends. You know, when there's no pressure from the people around you and everybody's on the same page, it really does help. And listen, you don't have to be, you know, the most financially literate person to draw up a budget. In the old days, they used to literally take envelopes and you'd have money put in the envelopes for every category that you'd be spending in. And as you spend, the envelope gets emptied out. And so you know exactly what you got left at the end of the month. I bet you right now, you don't know what you've got left for every category, you know, and that's where the problem is.
So like your entertainment envelope,
100%.
my food, my education envelope, okay.
Exactly.
And we've all just got one big envelope that's just emptying every month.
And money's digital today, so we've lost this tangible feel of things. So it's easier to spend what we can't see, right?
Yeah. I'm actually, it's taking me back to my grandpa used to put like envelopes under the bed and it just be like, this is for entertainment, this is for everything. But of course you can give us some more useful tips a bit later on about how we can budget, and also the people that's living hand to mouth, and some useful tips on that. So Mzandi, please do stay with us. We've got some more money talk coming your way.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's a Monday, so we're talking relationships, and today we are asking, what does money mean to you in your life? What kind of relationship do you share with the moolah? And we're back with clinical psychologist Asha Dulab to unpack this topic. So please do weigh in with your questions and your comments on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you. Asha, thanks so much for continuing the conversation with us. Picking up where we left off, the complexity of a relationship, it's difficult enough. You throw money in, and with the baggage that generally comes with it, it makes it even more difficult. How do we make it constructive? How do we broach talking about money with our partner? And obviously this is a relationship generally that's gone on for a longer period. I would assume if you're starting to look at your shared financial responsibilities and mindset, what's the best way to approach money within a relationship?
Definitely have authentic conversations about it. Really dig deep into your fears. What are you fearing with regard to money? Because fears are, it comes up all the time, and especially now when we are faced with such unpredictable times, there's lots of anxiety. And with anxiety, there's no space for creativity. So we're trying to make money and trying to get out of our difficult times, but we are loaded with anxiety. So have more conversations, speak about your budgets, speak about your history with money, your gains, your losses, and what feels comfortable for you. It's very, very important.
And it's amazing, just that act of communication, how much that eases the anxiety regardless. The pressures will still be there, but it's amazing. Just one conversation, speaking from my own experience, that can just lift that veil of uncertainty, because and also then you're in it together.
Absolutely.
You've got someone to tackle it. So let's talk about spending money responsibly. I, luckily or unluckily, am not that kind of person who ever regrets money that I've spent. You know, I kind of will pay myself when I want or need to. If I will, I seldom do I have that post-purchase dissonance, but I know a lot of people really do struggle with the idea of spending money responsibly and will beat themselves up and then get nervous about spending money. How do we get to a position where we are comfortable with actually spending our money and spending it responsibly?
Yeah, that we're speaking about the guilt there. So I think that we need to obviously set our budgets. We need to look at what's essential and not essential, looking at what our wants are versus our needs, and really just gauging into making decisions that are healthy for us with money. Sometimes we tend to maybe feel guilty when we overspend. We feel guilty if some of us are even feeling guilty for being privileged to have money.
For sure.
And sometimes we feel guilty for spending money on ourselves or for other people. And we need to really get into this approach of a sense of community, helping each other, asking questions, asking for help if one is struggling, and offering help at the same time.
And it's amazing how the right purchase, and setting aside all of our anxieties, the right purchase at the right time can be something that is a great affirmation for yourself to say you've earned that, you deserve it. But for me, I've got to say there is no greater pleasure than being able to pay for my children's needs. That for me is just, it brings about such a great sense of satisfaction. So there's ways that you can use your money to really inspire you and to validate what you're doing. You've mentioned the pressures that we are currently under. So much of that is out of our control. And I think what we desperately want is to feel that we are in control of our money. How do we deal with our relationship with money now during this very difficult COVID-19? As much as we see a brighter future for ourselves now that every step forward seems to be into the positive, we're still not through the woods yet. We've still got pressures. We know that we are still experiencing lockdown. Many industries still heavily impacted. How should we be treating money now during this COVID-19 state of heightened anxiety?
I think that if we are privileged enough to be earning during these times, we are certainly working with money differently already. I think that there's a great sense of saving for the rainy day concept. I think we are looking more carefully as to how we are spending our money. So many people are living more simplistic. They are trying out the more minimalistic life, realizing that we don't actually need so much to survive. We actually need very little. So people are looking at, instead of replacing something, they're repairing things at home, or people are cooking more at home, so there's more connection. So in these current times, there's much more connection with what we really, really value and appreciate in life.
So much of what we've spoken about has been reevaluating and looking for new opportunity. Yes, there may be an opportunity now to say, okay, yes, I need to focus on spending less, but maybe there is an opportunity now to focus on making more. Maybe there is a new opportunity, a new version of myself that could have access. Do you think there is an opportunity, a silver lining to what we're going through now?
Absolutely, there's always a silver lining. I think that we are in a space where we have to be thinking out of the box, but we need to first address our anxieties, our stress, in order to get to that place of creativity.
Take a bit of the pressure off yourself. Speak to someone about it. I've just spoken to Usher about it, and I really feel a lot better. I think becoming aware of your relationship with money requires taking a good look inside, as difficult as that can be, but there will be a payoff at the end. Having a plan with what you would like to do is at the heart of it. And stay tuned. Usher is going to delves into how our viewers spent their Valentine's Day a little bit later as well, so we can add a little bit of love to this very complex conversation as well.
Of course, like G says, keep coming through with everything that you got up to on these Valentine's Day weekends that we spent so much time spending love and sharing love indeed. And we will be bringing it to the show later. But now we're still joined in studio by businessman, author and content creator Justin Harrison, who started a YouTube channel titled Global Money Academy, which was created to help make a more financially literate South Africa. And he's encouraging us to better understand and control our finances as opposed to being passive and subsequently controlled by them. And he's also joined by the co-founding member himself. Adam, I believe you've been a big part of this journey right throughout everything, and I want to thank you as well for joining us this morning, man. How are you doing?
Pretty well, thanks for having us.
Again, you guys look like money. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. I think Janie's trying to get some merch here. She's like,
I want a t-shirt.
I'll tell you what, I'll hook you up with a cap later. How's that?
Okay, that is perfect. But I want to speak about something that I spoke about earlier on. I said, what about people that is living, mouth to hand? How do they then prioritize their expenses and also the income and just make a budget friendly for them?
So I think the important thing to know when we think about people living hand to mouth, we generally think about the low income earners. But there is a real thing called middle class poverty. And so I would look at these two market segments very differently. They're two different groups of people. For people right at the bottom, listen, you've got to figure out how to make more money. And we as a nation, we're not lazy. We can get off the couch, we can pick up a bucket and a sponge, and we can go wash cars on the weekend. We can do something extra to earn extra money, but we've got to start exercising our entrepreneurial spirit. That's the first thing I'd say. Then for the middle class people, stop trying to impress other people. Start reducing your expenses and come in line. Because here's the things that you purchase today is probably going to land up on a rubbish dump in 20, 30 years' time. Materialism is probably the problem of our generation. So let's step away from that. Let's focus on the things that are important. Putting a roof over our head, making sure we've got food on the table, making sure we raise our families correctly, and making sure we build a better nation by having better habits. Because we can't complain about the community around us if we haven't fixed the problem in our own homes. That's where it starts. It starts at the dinner table at home.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And I think it's so important to just kind of stay in your financial lane. We don't need to be impressing anybody right now.
Yeah.
And I think there is still that weird pressure that we somehow seem to have to. And I don't understand why. But I've got to ask, you guys also host webinars and seminars which are really creating literacy, and you are educating at the same time. But what are some of those what are some of the more common questions that you guys are getting from these sessions? I mean, is there a general trend of this is exactly what everybody is struggling with? Is there anything coming through like that?
Well, so it's quite interesting. Davi's really the inspiration behind the live streams that we do, and Davi can probably speak a bit more about this. But the most common question I see is, how do we get out of debt? We got ourselves in the brown stuff. How do we get out? It's problems, and we want solutions. How do we get out of it? And that's really one of the biggest questions. The next biggest question is, where do we invest our money? How do we invest? I see Bitcoin doing this. I see that doing that. My uncle said this, where should I invest my money? So those are probably the two common themes that come through on our live streams.
And trusting where to put your money, because you have everybody pushing a specific agenda. Invest with me, I'll do this, like you mentioned. So how do we know that the money is going to do what we intended to do when we are investing it, which is quite important?
Well, I mean, it's heartbreaking. We see it all the time. I mean, we actually help a lot of people individually on the side where we can. And we've got people in their 60s and 70s who've invested their entire life savings into the incorrect places and lost their money. Brokers run off of the money, the scheme's fallen flat. And so the one piece of advice I want to give everybody out there, please guys, don't invest in anything you don't understand. If you don't understand it, don't put your money on there. That's how you lose money. So, it's really important to understand what your money is going to be doing. It's more than the trust factor, is understanding what you're investing into.
Yeah, if it sounds too good to true, it probably is.
Probably is. I think that's a very valuable point.
100% return, probably unlikely.
Okay.
I guess the one question everybody wants to know is just, how can we become financially literate in South Africa today?
I mean, that's such a great question. I think there is no excuse for anybody to be financially illiterate today, because we've got Google, we've got YouTube, we've got Wikipedia. There's just so many great free resources out there. And you don't have to go and study a degree to understand finance. We don't have finance degrees. What we have is real boots on the ground knowledge and understanding of how money works. And the way you do that is just by going and reading and asking questions. I think if we can become a nation of readers especially, rather than just, focusing on all the wrong things, we can start filling our minds with the right knowledge, the right information to really make the right choices.
All right. Well, Davi, let me ask you this. All right. Mzansi's keen. We trust you. You guys look the part. I think we can do well with your money. What's the next step? Where do we begin this journey? If I've got some money that I want to invest, what do I do with it?
Well, get financial literacy. I would say that. Read as much as you can, learn as much as a subject or the thing you want to invest in, and only after you've learned about the subject, only then go invest. Don't just blindly throw money against it and hope it sticks and hope you make a return. I think that was my biggest thing as well, and I learned the hard way. And the beginning is learn what you want to invest in. If you want to invest in stocks, learn everything you can about the company, and only then, after you've learned about the company, only then go and invest.
Quickly, where can people find you? Where can people get hold of you to become financially literate?
Absolutely. So people can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Global Money Academy, and also go to our website, globalmoneyacademy.com. We have all our books on there, and we also have a 21-day free financial boot camp, which, as we were saying, teaching people how to budget, really taking people right back to basics. So nobody needs to be intimidated. It's free. They can come on, they can join, and really learn the basics of how to categorize your money, how to track it, and how to make sure that you generate savings.
Well, Justin, Davi, guys, you've been an absolute breathtaking, refreshing bit of energy when it comes to finance, of course, and you've given us a little bit of hope as well. So I'm looking forward to what you guys can do in terms of saving Mzansi, educating all of us, and getting us in that position where we can not worry and stress and be emotionally attached to all this loss that we currently experience. So thank you so much, gents.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
And of course, Mzansi, that's what you can get. Author and content creator Justin Harrison, obviously joined by Davi too, are taking us back to basics with money and the essentials we all need to be aware of to make better financial choices going forward.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. It really has been a very well-balanced show today. We've had a little bit of love. We've spoken about money. We've had some amazing performances. Now we're going to round it off by reliving some of the magical moments that we got to experience yesterday. Hopefully, in your case, around Valentine's Day. We've had a year filled with challenges that have made us feel connected to our loved ones in a more meaningful way, hopefully. And that's why we spent time holding them a little closer yesterday for Valentine's Day, whether virtually or actually in person. And we're back with our clinical psychologist and good friend Asha Dulab to talk us through and take a look at how you guys celebrated your Valentine's Day. We're going to judge you right now. We're going to judge you. That's what we're going to do. No, we're going to live through your beautiful, lovely day that hopefully you got to spend. So this is to lighten the mood a little bit after all of our money talk today. So we appreciate you sticking around.
How did you spend your Valentine's Day?
Well, I'm all about quality time, so I spent my Valentine's Day with having wonderful, beautiful quality time with my partner and my children.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so we'll get into it. The viewers at home, Linda Naidu said, lovely day at home with a little bit of spoils, which is pretty nice. Look at all that spoils, some chocolate, some roses. Margaret Masson also says, we were all given a parcel of goodies and had our photos taken to show we were not forgotten here at home, in the home.
Because that's an opportunity, surely. Your Valentine's Day isn't just about you and your partner. It's about sharing love and those people that might not necessarily have someone to spend with.
Yes. I think a lot of people spend time with family this Valentine's Day. This is what I've been hearing. And of course, a lot of people cook together. And it was, I get a sense that it was about the simple things that really mattered this year. It wasn't about, going big. It was about the smallest modes of appreciation, which is wonderful.
I love this. Jess Berger, we had our first breakfast as husband and wife.
Oh, beautiful.
Is there a more special Valentine's Day than your first as husband and wife?
I think that, Valentine's Day is special. I think it's actually a day that we should be celebrating every day. I mean, this energy of love is so beautiful, and to feel the collective energy is lovely. I mean, if you just go onto social media and see all the hearts and pictures of lovely people together embracing each other, how beautiful.
Yeah, I think that was beautiful to see yesterday. Just everyone sharing love with everyone. We have another one from Colin Eddie Anthony saying, good morning, Expresso family. I enjoyed Valentine's Day with my girlfriend through a video call since she is in Thailand. Despite the distance, she was over the moon and was feeling very special. Because yes, we are still in a pandemic. A lot of people are still separated, distance, or maybe just wanting to celebrate Valentine's Day on a video call because that's the new norm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, of course, going virtual, we are definitely using those modes to connect with everyone. So that is definitely, we need to continue doing that.
Is now the right time to have a long distance relationship?
Is the ever right time? Let's just go with what we can do, how we can connect.
Because we can do it now. We can. Exactly. The whole world can pull it off. Griselda van der Kerk, I love this one, celebrated single Valentine's Day in bed with a grazing board and watched Bridgerton again.
Spending time with oneself and self-love and self-nurturing. A lot of people have been saying to me, I just spent a beautiful day with myself, pampered myself, spoiled myself, went on a walk on the beach. I saw a lovely post where someone said, I'm in love with my coffee and enjoying my lovely cup of coffee completely alone. And that's great. It's really connecting to moments of awe in a day as Valentine's Day. It's just that moment when we just feel, oh, this is beautiful. And it could be anything that gives us that emotion.
So for me, the best cuddles I got yesterday, Linz, I'm so sorry, but they were from my baby girl. And I took extra time in cuddling her. And Valentine's Day is not just about love with your partner. It's love for everyone, especially for your kids, man.
Yes, definitely. We have another one from Noe Ndlovu saying, I continued my first birthday celebrations for my baby girl. So she had a birthday today, which is another form of love, because our kids really is that pure form of love, right?
Yes. Oh, that childlike energy is so spontaneous and innocent and curious, and they're all pure unconditional love kids. So that's why we connect with that so easily, because after all, we're all adult children, all searching for that lovely feeling of love.
I could tell yesterday Jack got a little bit, he was like, when I gave Mommy her Valentine's first, and then I gave him a little Lucian off Fred Jones Studio, gave him an awesome little hedgehog to give him, and he was like, no, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. It's like he's trying to put it all in its place. He's used to being the center of attention. What did you do? What did Luca do for you on Valentine's Day?
Luca ate all the chocolates because that's what he did. I literally came in to him sitting on the floor and he was eating everything. And he's obsessed with colors now. So everything was like red, white, red, and teddy bear, Mommy. It's the teddy bear. So it was the cutest thing ever. And for me, that was again pure form of love. I couldn't spend a better Valentine's Day without him. And my mom, of course, my mom was the OG of the Valentine's Day. Yeah, she made breakfast in bed for me.
Oh man, we love our family.
I'm still spooked.
It brings up smiles on everybody's faces, and that is so powerful. Just a smile and to be kind to each other. The kindness that goes around on these kind of special days is beautiful. That
make
level
it every
of
day.
compassion.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
make it every single day.
Let's sell balloons every day in the stores with hearts.
Asha, we love you. Thank you so much for your advice today. It certainly helped me a lot. Hopefully it's helped you guys as well. One of the best ways, I think, to express love, express yourself, your personality, is through cooking, and we're going to make a beautiful veggie bake right now because we love you that much.
I'll go. But one of you said, oh, he's back. Move way.
Clover Fresh Milk.
Made with love by Clover.
Indeed it is, G. Now, if it's meat-free Monday inspiration you're looking for, then we've got the recipe just for you. Now, it's our Clover Veggie Bake, and it's so good. It's nutritious, and it makes for the perfect veggie main or side dish for lunch or dinner. And here to show us how, it's Neil Anthony, of course. Ready to shake and bake, brother?
Shake and bake, baby. I
Meat-free
don't know
Monday.
if this one's going to become such a TikTok hit as the last one.
Okay.
But
we'll see. You never know.
You never know. It is super simple. So we just got some onions softening there.
Okay.
Going to pop some peppers in there as well.
Peppers, yellow
peppers,
and red
onions,
peppers,
yeah, yellow,
okay.
red, whatever you like. A little bit of garlic. Yet again, this is just our version of it.
Neil, I can imagine
anything you like.
With a veggie bake like this, you could kind of get creative with any veg that you prefer, yeah?
It's also great for like just literally clearing out your fridge if you got loads of stuff, just, sitting around, pop it into this.
Chuck it in.
Yeah.
Make it
Waste
useful.
not, want not. Yeah.
So what are you kind of just frying this up, browning it?
Yeah,
What's
just softening
the
it
game plan?
nicely. Remember, we are still going to bake it in the oven, so the vegetables don't need to be fully cooked at this stage.
Okay.
But yet again, we've got some potato going in there as well. You could go with some celeriac. You could go with any sort of other root vegetable you like. You could also sort of, really sort of go on that sort of mushroomy sort of root as well. That'd be quite nice.
Yeah.
And just yet again, you want to get a nice.
Do we have to do that professional?
You have to do that. That is a necessity. Try not get it on the roof, the ceiling, or the floor.
All right.
Then we just got some spinach going in there.
Be messy.
Yeah. The best way to practice it is actually with some rice.
Oh, okay.
Put rice in a pan, raw rice, and just do that.
That's actually smart. I'm going to go do that this afternoon. Next time I'm in the kitchen, you and I are going to have a pan duel. How's the meal looking here so far?
Yeah, so that just softens nicely.
Cool.
So that cooks down. And then we need to make a sort of a nice little sauce for it in essence.
All right, so
what
you've
we
got
do
some
is
clover
eggs
coming
there,
in here.
Yeah. Just pop some whole full cream milk in there.
Stuff. I love the fact that also that it's triple protect. They are passing through 80 different tests just to ensure the quality of this milk. And that's what's kind of also giving it that long shelf life. So like 18 days worth of cooking options that you get with this milk in the fridge. I think
Longer
it's
shelf
awesome.
life than the vaccine.
Yeah, man, who can complain? So what do we... No, that's beautiful. So you've just got the eggs mixed up here with the milk, right?
Yeah, eggs, milk, and a little bit of oil. You can use a little olive oil, a little sunflower oil if you want.
Okay.
Then we just got some plain flour going in. A little bit of baking powder is going to give us a nice, nice rise with that. Yeah. So doesn't matter if there's a couple little lumps in there. Don't stress about it too much.
Okay.
They'll all sort of dissolve eventually.
The heat will sort it out.
Exactly, the heat will sort it out.
I think this is quite cool because this is kind of going to give you that bakey, cheesy sort of
big
feeling.
time, yeah.
And for me, I know, especially as a kid, it's kind of hard just eating your vegetables on their own. So this is quite a cool way to get your kids to get that veg content and get that macro balance in without them thinking that it's punishment, which is often the case with kids. So this is quite a cool way to master your veg and get the good calories in.
I mean, it's like a sort of almost like a baseless quiche if you think about it.
Ah, yeah, like you got no... Like a lasagna with no pasta.
There you go, mate.
Nice.
So our oven's preheated, 180, 190. Yet again, we don't want to overcook it because you don't want to overcook the eggs, but we want to get a nice sort of puff and a nice rise on that.
So the mixture that you made with the clover milk, is that something that is going to harden cream?
It will. It'll because it's got the baking powder in there as well. It's almost like a little cake mix. So it'll rise a bit.
Okay.
And then we'll get a real nice sort of effect on that as that cheese gratinates as well.
Yeah.
So that goes into your oven at about 180 for about 35, 40 minutes.
And voila.
Voila.
Exactly. You like the quickest chef
there we
I've
go.
ever seen.
Bam.
Who does a veggie bake in less than 5 minutes? That means I've got all the time in the world to test this. So
it's a nice sort of.
That
again, you
good.
could spice it up. You could get some curry spices in there. And if it's not Meatless Monday, go for it. Get some mince in there. Get whatever you like in there. So
and get creative.
That's rock and
of
roll.
course, like you said, you can add your own favorite veg in. Let's put the proof in the pudding. One thing I've got to say, you got the crisp. Perfect.
No,
I love a crispy cheese top. The inside is nice and moist, but let's do the final test.
Boom. Yet again, blank canvas. Do what you like. Get everything in there. Yeah, and again, hot, cold, warm.
It's like a quiche and an egg with some warmth, lots of flavor. I don't even taste the naughtiness and the nastiness of a veg. Only the good stuff.
Only the good stuff, eh?
Neil Anthony Harris, Veggie Bake, done and dusted. Mzansi, you saw it here first. And in case you missed out on how we got to this point in time, here's a recipe recap. Check it out.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
I'll go. But one of you said, oh, he's back. Move way.
Clover fresh milk. Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back for one last breathtaking performance from an incredible group of people. The song, What a Beautiful Name, is your choice, was the top performing song from the hashtag Gospel Monday poll. Understandably so, it is a firm favorite. As Shelby pointed out, the song confesses that no greater beauty exists outside of Jesus Christ and speaks of his unmatched power. The genre-smashing single, in fact, helped Hillsong win 2 Dove Awards for Song of the Year and Worship Song of the Year back in 2017. It's got the credentials. What a Beautiful Name also won a Grammy Award for Best Contemporary Christian Music Performance Song in 2018. So it's a banger. Everyone loves it. We absolutely adore it. How cool does it feel being able to perform these songs? I know that the whole way that you guys are having to perform, normally you've got like hundreds, thousands of people sitting in front of you and it's just like two-way flow of energy. Do you still get the same joy and buzz out of it, being able to perform even in this virtual space? At least here you know there are millions watching, not to make you nervous or anything, but how does it feel to perform a song that is this beautifully written?
Yo, it's definitely such an honor because it's such a beautiful song. It won a Grammy, so people are expecting the delivery. And so, like, for us to be able to deliver it, it's such an honor because we're all the same. And God choosing us to deliver this beautiful message is really an honor. So we're honored.
You guys obviously have the joy of being able to feed off each other. How important is that? Because I always love the vibe and even just watching you guys chat beforehand about who's going to do what and how you're going to do this. I'm thinking, like, have you not performed this before? You guys have sung this like a million times, surely. How does it feel performing with this amazing group of people and having that side of your connection to the church?
I love this, guys. Family, family, family. I think because we spend so much time together that this comes, I don't want to say naturally, but this is also necessary, the behind the scene building community, like going out for coffees with the fam in order for us to bring this message in unison. So I think it's important for us to gather in private, and so we do that, and then when we come in these like spaces, then we bring the unified message of Christ. And so
and
yeah,
it's authentic and we love it. So here is our winning song for our Gospel Monday poll. Guys, thank you so much for joining us again today. We absolutely love hosting you. What a beautiful name. Take it away.
You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. And nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus. Heaven without us, so Jesus, you brought heaven down. Thank you, God. My sin was great, your love was greater.
Celebrate the month of love with your family favorites. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.